In 3, 2.
We are live.
Okay. The countdown was superfluous. It says waiting for it a minute though. Still says waiting for here. So, what would you say we're doing today then? Or is it gone? Okay. Yo, Caustic Viper. Casper, welcome. Just waiting for Mr. Zeller to get back, so we can properly explain to me the intent of what we're doing today, so I know how to describe it on the socials. How's everybody doing?
Okay, back.
Okay, I was saying, how would you describe your intent today, so I know how to describe this?
Oh, that's a good question. Just say taking virtual photography or taking screenshots of alien isolation using a mod or something. I don't know.
I'll put you demoing how you do your shit.
Okay, let me know if it pops up here when I open the window. Demoing my shit, is that what you're putting up?
Yeah, I'm literally putting demoing your shit. It's just a black screen as far as I see currently.
Give it a second.
Your shit, it's just a black screen as far as I see currently.
Let me see if I can fix that.
You might need to change your capture bit. It's demonstrating. I feel a bit more satisfied each time I type xenomorphxx121 as a hashtag now.
Nice.
I've always fucking loved that designation.
Yeah, I know you'd be happy about that.
Now we just need the rest of the lore to start pulling in on it. Casper says, hope you had an amazing weekend. It's been alright. Bank holiday weekend for me. Been at one of my nerd tournaments. Though, to be fair, today has been summed up by an ice cream truck showing up outside the house and it driving off as we walked out to go and buy an ice cream. So, sad panda. Caustic Viper says, watching Romulus had me excited to get back into isolation, so this was perfect timing. Yeah, I started playing it on Friday, I think, replaying it, getting ready for all our upcoming fun. I guess Adam's currently busy trying to sort this stuff out. Chevy, welcome. KG Lakowski, welcome. Adam's trying to sort some technical issues at the minute. With his black screen. Commander Blitz, Rob, welcome. Can't you just set it to share your entire
Yeah,
screen rather than
that's what
the?
I'm gonna do.
Okay. It's always too much. I always find it too much fucking hassle trying to get it to just display a window. Have we? Think I've shared it most places. Just need to share around on some of the groups, but you're good to go once you've sorted your
Yeah.
problemos.
Yeah.
Kaelin, welcome. Says, "Oh yeah, it's Sunday. It is. It's Bank Holiday Sunday though, buddy. So enjoy Monday off." Caustic Viper says, "What are your thoughts on Rogue Incursion so far? Was genuinely surprised Azula Hendrix is in it. I am very much looking forward to Rogue Incursion. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to buy a PSVR 2, because I think they're supposed to be coming down in price soon, aren't they?
I believe so.
So maybe once they don't cost it more than the fucking console itself, I might go and purchase one. Otherwise, I've got a Rift,
Okay, there
first
we
gen,
go.
but I believe it should still play on the first gen. But no, I'm genuinely looking forward to it. Zula, yeah, I was surprised by Zula, because she's not one. I don't think we've seen her for a little while, have we? And she will be the first character to cross over into
Video game?
a video game from one of the books or the comics, I believe. Well, no, I guess comic book adventure pulled quite a few across, but I don't think we count that. What about you?
Ricardo, they're all here.
Are you looking forward to
Everyone that's missing.
Oh, you know what?
Zula?
They're trapped in
I
some
need
kind of
to.
Have you fucked up?
Yeah, 1 second, folks. Sorry.
Nothing but professionalism here.
It should. That's weird. It should be working.
nest. There are eggs. It's
What
like
wasn't working?
It's just this mod. It can be a little finicky sometimes. So I will try and rehook it to the game. So, yes, hello everyone. We will be starting soon. Thank you for your patience. This was just a random idea I had today. I love to take screenshots, or virtual photography as it's sometimes called in video games, and Isolation is a great game to do that using an external tool called Alias Isolation, which is, I believe, a graphic enhancer for the game, but it also has some cinematic tools built in. The only problem is with some of the game's recent updates, it doesn't play as nicely as it used to with Steam. So you kind of have to link it in a specific way. Steam has to be closed, and then you load up the GUI, as it were, as administrator, and then you launch it. Although it's the first time I've ever attempted streaming during this, so we will see how it works.
Xenomania, welcome. Blazing Blue, welcome. Caustic Viper says, "Do you think Rogue Incursion ties into Seventh Circle?" I don't think it will. I think from Adam's interview with Alex White at SDCC, which is on the YouTube channel, go check it out. It sounds like this is going to be an early Zula adventure. So I think this is going to be well before the birth of May, because Davis is in this. And I'm looking forward to seeing who voices Davis.
A dog.
No, it's not the dog version. Swear to God, if it's the dog version,
Bark.
then I'm gonna send Alex some very angry messages. And
Okay.
Xenomania says, "I think Rogue Incursion is somewhere in the Defiance timeline because her concept has
Ricardo,
the
they're all
back
here.
brace. Perhaps."
Everyone that's missing.
Okay, you need to flick us over them.
Yep. I'm doing it. We're in business, folks.
Faster, faster.
Okay.
They're trapped in some kind of nest. There are eggs. It's like a farm.
Okay. I know I'm kind of throwing us into the middle of a game here, but I just wanted to kind of give you an example of what I've been doing. So, you can see this little interface in the top left corner. It's a little menu interface where I can do various things to the game. So I activate it, deactivate it by pressing the insert key. Right now I'm in, spoilers by the way, if you haven't played this game for 10 years. I am in the Hive section of the station. And I just got here. And what I found out is there's only a couple moments where two aliens show up at the same time, even down here. Like, even if you were to bang away with your wrench and make a bunch of noise, there's only two very specific moments where two aliens show up together. Also, toggling invisibility helps a little bit so the aliens can't see you. It doesn't work all the time. Certainly it doesn't work with androids. So if I disable invisibility here, a facehugger should start to come after me. Yep, there's one. Boop. And then I can put it back on. How's the volume of the game, Aaron? Can you hear the game?
No, hang on. Can hear it a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna boost it up a bit.
There's something in the water.
A little facehugger, that's what's in the water. Okay, how about now?
Okay, be silent. And go do something. Yeah, that's fine. That's
Okay,
better.
cool.
Welcome, Wolf. Blazing Blue says also finally got Isolation, Clone Marines, and 2010 on Steam. Almost finished first playthrough on Isolation on mission 18. That is the last mission.
I won't do that one then. So one thing to keep in mind is if you have invisibility enabled, it gets disabled if you interact with things. So after I interact with this, it may still say it's enabled, but it's disabled, and I have to re-enable it. It's finicky. Okay.
So what's this called?
Alias isolation?
So something specific for alien isolation.
Yeah. So hopefully I don't break the game, which I've done with this sometimes.
How much do you play through using?
Not too much. I mean, I'll still kind of play on console.
Well, I mean, you just getting your creative head on.
Yeah.
You know, you go, I kind of want to take some photos of this moment, or I want to try and trigger this.
Exactly. So there's some aliens here. If I want some time to work with, I'll put the time scale down here. So I'll go on, the game is now in slow motion, but that kind of broke something actually. That broke my inventory. So maybe not the best idea there. But if I want to try and get them here.
So what would you do? Like bang on the side to get their attention?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's coming back, but I'm invisible. So he can't see me. So I will toggle the free camera and freeze the game. And you can see here's Ripley's model here. And so she doesn't have like a head or a body. And here's our xenomorph. And so I'll kind of wait till there's a good moment with like lighting and stuff. Oh, he's going back in. So this was like that only moment where two xenomorphs show up. So it's been a little tricky. That's why I was hoping to have a noisemaker out, because that would have gotten them both here. But yeah, this has been a really cool little mod to be able to take screenshots and stuff. Let me put my perspective back. And I can actually see, I can freeze the actors. So right now, like, there's the whole backstage AI system. They have a backstage alien. 2 face huggers are somewhere, probably in eggs. And then there's my character. So let me bring an alien back here real quick. Go invisible. I still can't build anything. That sucks. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's try noisemaker.
Xenomania says, what's the difference between freeze actors and freeze animation?
So freeze actor just freezes him in place, but he can still move around. Freeze animation will just actually freeze his animation, but he can still move around. So you have to do both of them. So if I freeze the game here, toggle my free camera. Oh, there he is. Okay. So that's kind of an interesting shot, right? With him looking in the egg. So another thing is I can use my Amanda's light as a spotlight with the free camera, which is interesting. So if I turn that on here, oh, there we go. I can, like, if I want to, like, put a light above him, let's see, and then freeze the game, the light will remain in that place, which is pretty handy.
Okay.
And then there's some post-processing options here. So you can see there's a little press R to activate thing on the HUD, so I can get rid of that. And then in post-processing, I can add depth of field here, and I can change the focus. So if I want to make it, and unfortunately he's clipping through the egg here, so it's not the best.
So is this a tool specifically for video photography, game photography?
I think this one is tailored just to this game, and I think it's more for, like, as the name would imply, I think it's a graphical enhancement that just comes with these cinematic tools. But let's unfreeze the game here so you can see the light change. So I have to reposition the light. If I want a light under him, I can do that. And I'm going to change the focus back as long as post-processing is enabled. So if I wanted to, like, screenshot this here, I would just use the Steam screen capture key.
And job's a fish.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair Ray says, I hope you're doing well. Do you think they will add the F-44 AA Pulse Rifle to Fireteam Elite? I doubt we'll see any more additions to Fireteam Elite, unfortunately. Yeah. I bet all their efforts going to be going to what we presume to be Fireteam Elite 2.
Well, I don't think we presume it anymore.
Have they announced it? I can't remember what we're presuming and what we know. Oh no, we know because of the Disney leaks. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect to see it in Fireteam Elite 2. Caustic Viper says Adam's conducting psychological warfare on the Xenos. They know something is making the noise, but they can't tell what's doing it.
Well, it's funny if you, like, just turn off your invisibility for a second, and then he, like, sees you, and then you quickly turn it back on, and he's like, hey, wait a minute. There was something here. So it's actually a really good way to see how the AI works as well. I know this might make the game less scary, though.
Yeah, but you just want to take beautiful, beautiful pictures.
Well,
Still collating. Greg's joined us in the chat. Says
so
there
if I pop him and freeze the game, he does a specific animation when you pop him. Boop. Oh, no. He didn't do it that time. Maybe I need a shotgun. There we go. Okay. So that's kind of a cool pose.
Oh,
And
you
I
can see
can
the skull in there as well.
do field of view to tighten in on him a bit. If I want to change the
So,
time scale, that'll make it more slow motion. I'll have time to work with.
Greg said there are 2 multiple aliens mods, one for campaign, one for the DLCs. You can use that for taking pictures of multiple aliens at once, from 2 to 6 even.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I haven't tried that one before. Okay, that's kind of a cool shot. So I just want to like frame it here. And yeah, you can really see the skull nicely there.
Xenomania asks, if you touch him while invisible, will it trigger the death animation?
No, you can try whacking him and it won't. But as soon as you turn off invisibility, or if the game is not working right with the mod, he'll grab you. So
Coasty Viper says, I'm not sure how I feel about an elite group of Xeno killers and one is using melee weapons. You'd think elite means to know to avoid the acid. I really need to read those fucking notes. Everything I'd heard about it just made me be like, ugh.
and I can also try and just change some other elements here, like brightness and contrast. Contrast kind of makes it look a little distorted. So honestly, I don't mess with those too much.
Schwip says, how does this 10-year-old game look so good?
That's what like freaks me out about this the most is you go up to the models and like, yeah, this is a 10-year-old game and it just looks so good. Like just the little drops of like slime on them and stuff.
Well, we always say that about 2010 as well, don't we? That game looks phenomenal for a 14-year-old game or whatever.
Let me just take the shot of him real quick.
Caustic Viper says, oh, that skull is always a welcome treat to see. Team Skull, guys, Team Skull. Mitch says, I'd never stop exploring if I had those mods.
It's always
or this mod, I think he's trying to say there.
See, if the rumors are true about a 10th anniversary re-release for this game, they gotta have an official photo mode. Like, it's become way more popular since this game has come out. A lot of games just have official photo modes that they add in, and it's a big selling point for a game for me because I am a photographer. So it's honestly like I can play the game, but it's an extra layer of creativity where I can get some photo practice in and take screenshots that I want to share with people. So
you should do some cosplay photography. Why is there no cosplayers near?
I would like to do that. There are not too many that I've seen here. I know Jan, who runs that Alien and Predator Universe Facebook group. One of these times I make it out to his neck of the woods, we want to do a cosplay photography session. But that is something I would really like to do.
I'd love to see you do something there. Oh, Caleb's throwing out some fucking heresy in the
Is he not
chat.
on Team Skull?
No, he says, yeah, the skull does rather ruin it, but still. Caleb,
You're wrong.
Mitch says, I think you'd have to be dedicated to design to even attempt an Alien game at this point. The design language is so integral to the franchise. Damn fucking right. Damn right.
Okay, so I think we've taken enough with him. Let me just...
Caustic Viper says, this game deserved better than an IGN rage review. Our most beautiful love letter to the alien done dirty by a butthurt journalist.
Well, you know what's so funny, too, is IGN did a...
apology review.
No,
well, it wasn't really an apology review.
Well,
it was just a second review.
It was like what you need to know before watching Romulus or whatever video. And they were like, the excellent Alien Isolation. And I was like, really? You guys think it's excellent?
And I assume there was many comments in
there were
the chat. Yeah. They're never gonna fucking live that down. Who was the number
where
two?
I blasted
Was it Ryan
him
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Commander Blitz says the colours on the Isolation Xeno look great. Yeah, I think they did a fantastic job on the coloration of Stompy here.
So I'm going to go back and we'll try and get 2 xenomorphs this time.
Ricardo,
And I
come
promise we'll
here.
try more spots than just this one during the live stream. But I want to try and get
Trapped in
2
some kind of
aliens
nest.
here.
There are eggs. It's like a farm.
You got some last night, didn't you?
Yes. Get my revolver.
I'll have to restore power to the platform from the conduit station.
Oh, I don't have my flamethrower yet. It's right here. Yeah, okay. I'm sure you just love this part of the game, Aaron. And this is something that I think...
Well, before you go on, sorry. This was the moment that I turned the game off.
Oh, really?
So I played it through in 2 sessions when the game showed up on my door. I ended up getting it a little late because I don't think we secured a review copy in time, so I was waiting for my copy to come through the post. And I had 3 days off, and my first day, I just sat there from about 8 o'clock in the morning when it showed up through the door until the doors opened on the Hive, and all that mucus just started to sort of drip down the door, and I went, nope, that's enough for today. I think it must have been like 10 o'clock or something like that. I went, nope, that's enough for the day, and turned it off. I just couldn't deal with it at that point. Anyway, sorry, you were saying you think I'd love it.
What?
You were saying you'd think I'd love it.
Yeah, just the Hive bit. Because I know you like
yeah.
the Hive.
I do love me some Hive. Because this level was a genuine surprise. You know, when you got to it. Schwib says, I just imagine a copy of Isolation showing up at Aaron's door wrapped in a blanket like an abandoned baby. It was more like me sat on the stairs looking at the door, waiting for the postman to show up. Back in the days when you brought physical copies of PC games as well.
This isn't
So we should get a second xenomorph here. Uh-oh.
But Sam...
Ooh, I almost hit the wrong button there.
Sando
here we
Vissa
go.
asks, did the Alien Romulus review happen yet? Has it been posted to YouTube yet? We have recorded it. It has been sent off to one of our editors. So we're waiting for the audio back for me to start my second pass to release it. If you are a Patreon, like No Style Dutch mentions here, it is accessible on Patreon for our viewers, to our Patreon supporters to watch already. Custy Viper says, think Isolation 2 might have Romulus DLC map. Getting chased by the Romulus facehugger swarm could definitely be a big panic moment. Jesus Christ, could you imagine that?
Oh, what now?
Like a Romulus inspired map. Ooh, that's not bad. Romulus inspired sort of scenario where you're being chased down by a fuck ton of facehuggers.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. For the RPG?
No, for this. For Isolation 2.
Oh yeah, that yeah.
A theoretical Isolation 2.
Here's the question I'm curious about from everybody, like would you want
Oh, pardon me.
to
Sorry,
be
I
able
went to mute there.
to be able to kill the aliens in Isolation 2?
No.
Still
No.
keep them invincible?
No, or if we're doing an Isolation, I want it to be Isolation. You know, I want that powerlessness. But I would like a slightly not off-brand game, but a slightly different alien game where you can damage them and it interacts with the environment. That's what I really want. You know, I've mentioned it before. Give me a frostbite sort of situation.
So I'm going to change the time scale so it's kind of in slow motion, so I'll have more time to work with when I freeze and unfreeze the game if I want to try like different poses with them. Unfortunately, my lighting kind of changes there, so I always have to, like, if I'm using the Amanda's lamp for a light, I have to always like reposition it, which kind of sucks. And I forgot to change my field of view. So if I want it a bit more zoomed in, like it's a telephoto lens, I have to change the field of view, reposition the light, and then pause and unpause the game, because that'll set the field of view. So that's kind of cool. I kind of like that one. And then with this, I need to change the focus.
Schwip says, wait, has Isolation 2 been greenlit, or is Caustic playing games with my heart? There are rumours currently abound that an Isolation 2 is in the works. Let me just bring up the chat. Where was it? Okay, so this was posted on a leaks. No, this was posted on the Alien Isolation Reddit, not a leaks thing. Hey everyone, I just learned some info from a former Creative Assembly developer I met at a tech layoff community. Here's the scoop from our conversation.
And we know they had layoffs recently.
Isolation 2, 3 years into development, it continues Amanda's journey ignoring the events of Alien Blackout. Movie tie-ins. With the recent hype around Romulus, the game is expected to be announced soon. The movie... Yeah, you don't. That's irrelevant. A 10-year anniversary treats. An official VR release and a remastered version of the original game are in the works to celebrate its anniversary. Yeah, me too. Both games were outsourced by 20th Century Fox. Creative Assembly is not involved in these. Big reveal planned. The sequel, remaster, and VR games are likely to be announced together around the October anniversary with a possible teaser at Gamescom. The remaster should arrive near the 10-year mark. The VR game is expected in 2025 to avoid competing with Rogue Incursion, and the sequel would come in 2026. And that's the rumors.
Yeah, I could see that would cannibalize Rogue Incursion a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I still hope we get like a remaster, and then they say VR mode is coming down the road, like we saw with Resident Evil. That would be nice.
Chevy says the DLC in the cinema with all the facehuggers was bad enough. I don't think I ever really completed the DLC. I'll be honest. It was so much harder than the base game.
Now they're clipping. See, you only like have a moment where they'll kind of be next to each other, where you can frame it right, and they won't be clipping, because they'll check out the same thing together, and then they'll kind of separate.
Sean Mooney has joined us. Welcome, Sean.
Welcome, Sean. Hey.
I'll be seeing Sean next week.
Oh, nice. You guys getting a drink?
Yeah. We're going to the Romulus concept art panel thing in London next Friday.
Oh, that's cool. So let me try and... He's kind of in a cool pose here, so let me try and freeze the game. Position the light here. Oh,
yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Mitch has a good idea here. It would be cool if they kept damage so you could recognize certain aliens you'd encountered before, like Scorched. Yeah, I don't mind the idea of being able to damage them cosmetically like that. That could be pretty fucking cool. Caustic Viper says, well, we did kill them in isolation by dumping the whole station into the planet.
That's true.
But I think the best we could do is probably cause another damaged or scorched Xeno thing.
I mean,
through electricity.
Yeah, it would be interesting if you could kill them. Like, still have it be a real challenge to take one out, and there's always more to deal with. But I will admit, seeing the recent trailer for Rogue Incursion and seeing that Frontier revolver just take out a xenomorph, I was like, man, that would have been handy in isolation.
Different caliber.
Still collating says, Adam, how the hell did you get Alias Isolation mod to look so good for you? When I use it, it created some really thick black outlines. I don't know. I'm not really using any of the mod's tools other than just the cinematic tools to take these screenshots. So I honestly don't know much about the base mod itself. I'm only really using it for its cinematic tools. Okay, that's kind of a cool
No.
shot.
No Style Dutch says, I used to know a moderately famous streamer who played Isolation on their channel back in the day. When I asked them about it, they acted like it was a very so-so game. They can get fucked. No Style Dutch, you can get fucked. It's a brilliant game.
I know there was a YouTube video that kind of goes over what Stompy's doing, like backstage and how his AI works and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I
So that was a really cool video.
I believe it uses this mod just to kind of do what I'm doing. And
Yes. Yes, it does.
let me change the time scale back. Okay.
Crawling Chaos has joined us. My name is Rook and I'm here too. Hello. Crawling Chaos. Calum says Romulus 2 is going to feature them finding the ejected Stompy from this game. He got burned up in the atmosphere.
Okay. So let's. Oh, I gotta activate my HUD again. Let's do a different part of the game since I'm sure you guys have seen this enough.
Caustic Viper says, what if we get the threat of being shish kebabbed by a cocoon in isolation? Have to avoid ceiling vents. Isolation 2. Have to avoid ceiling vents and wall cocoons. Could be interesting, I guess, especially if it's in an isolated. Yeah, but then again, you've got the fucking. You've got the flamethrower and you've got your prods, so you sort of could be kind of vulnerable. But then again, the film showed us the prods weren't that effective. Wayne Smith says, sorry if this has been answered, but when can we expect a podcast episode on your thoughts of the new movie? It has been recorded. It has gone off to one of the editors that I send stuff off to. So I'm awaiting her first pass on the episode, and then I'll begin my second and final pass. If you support us on Patreon, the early video version's up to watch there. In its raw glory. Don't I fuck up the start of that a few times.
Good.
We're gonna need coolant for the air support system.
I think Adam's listening.
Parker.
Hmm?
I powered up the
I said,
shuttle.
didn't I fuck up the start of that
You got
episode
those
a few
coolant tanks
times?
ready.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I forgot about that. Wasn't that bad. So we're in the shuttle. The shuttle we've seen again recently.
Shit, don't tell Tim Levin there's a second crowd too. I kid, I enjoy that book. It's far better than it has any to be, and I do like Tim Levin.
See, that's where the alien is supposed to be, in this little crawl space. And it's weird because, like, there's enough room to put the model in there. So I'm like, did they plan to have him there when you come back in? And then they couldn't do it or something?
Crawling Chaos says, I wonder how much Romulus is gross now. Somebody mentioned this on the boards earlier when I was looking. I think they're on about 200 and... let me just bring it up again.
Globally? Because it's doing really well in China.
Yes.
I know domestically, Wolverine Deadpool kind of dethroned it this week.
225 million worldwide this
Damn.
weekend. No Style Dutch says, what do you think of Fede's idea of co-directing an AVP movie with Dan?
If it means a new AVP movie, I'm for it.
I think he was probably taking the piss a little bit. But I would be up for it. Although I've heard a bit of stuff about Badlands, which I need to tell you actually, Adam, off the air.
Jeez, that doesn't sound good.
Lambert!
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, these two DLCs that recreated the events of the first film, I loved. They were the best DLCs of this game. And when I like to take screenshots for the game, I do like to load up these DLCs. I honestly wish that they would have had like
Lambert?
the regular legs on this alien.
Parker!
As weird as that sounds, because I know they tried both, and I'm like, how cool would it have been if it was the actual just big chap, you know, his design being exact.
It doesn't bother me. I really like the digigrade legs.
Oh, I mean, I do too. Like, and I love that design element in the new film, but there's something about that, like, OG big chap without that. That's cool.
We don't really see it though, do we? In the film, maybe the bit where he's in the vent, not the vent. Yeah, in the vent.
You see him
But-
hunched over when Ripley's when she drops the cat,
I suppose, yeah.
and then you see him pop out in the shuttle at the end. You can see his
Can't
full
believe-
body.
I can't believe you're looting Parker's body there. Sean says, "What did you chaps think about Romulus? Then looking forward to your review. I fucking loved it. I just keep enjoying it more and more each time I've watched it. I'd only done 4 times so far. I'm not quite as fucking up there as Mitch is. Mitch has seen it 7 times.
Jeez, that's a lot. My record was AVPR, which was 7 times. I've seen this 4 so far.
You're fucking disgusting, man. Disgusting. To be fair, I saw a lot of AVPR and Prometheus as well because I was working at a cinema at the times those were out, so I caught a lot of AVPR. I need to see if it's still in IMAX because it sounds like The Crow did not push it out of IMAX like we thought it was going to.
It did not.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, it's not without its flaws, but I fucking love the film in spite of its flaws, much in the same way that I do Alien 3. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I want to love it. I feel like it's right there. Like it's on the verge of greatness for me, but I like it. I walked out of it not wanting to pull my hair out like with Prometheus and Covenant, so I consider that a win, and I'm happy it's doing so well. There's a lot the movie does awesomely, like cinematography, practical effects. I love the design of the aliens. I love the characters. I love the score. There's some logic issues for me with the plot. Not as bad as Prometheus and Covenant on that front. And there were things about it that I was just like, really? Like, yeah, I mean, you know the things, but overall, I think it's good. I don't think it's great. I think it's good, but I will see a good Alien movie because I'm really into Alien, if you guys don't know, more than once in theaters. Sean Mooney says, right there with me. I don't know. Maybe I'll come around to it. Maybe I'll I
think it's far better.
Because I feel like I'm right there. And I listened to the Perfect Organism guys recently, and they said they had like very mixed emotions about it as well, and they saw it again and felt differently about things. So
I've seen that from a lot of people then, how they liked it more on multiple viewings, and I kind of think. Did we talk about it on the podcast where I was on about it's when you become used to certain concepts that you look past them? And it might have been on the review episode. So like once you know to expect bullshit like the the reused dialogue and things like that, once you get acclimated to those concepts, you can kind of just enjoy the rest of it. I mean, to be fair, to some extent, that's also one of the benefits of when we find out like all the leaks and bullshit like that. So like with Covenant, you know, we had pretty much full rundowns of that film like nearly 3 or 4 months before it came out from the various test screenings, so I already knew to expect all the bullshit with David and the alien creation aspect of it. So when I actually watched it, I didn't hate it. Crawling Chaos says, I just obtained the virtual workprint of Alien. Should be interesting to watch. Which one? I think there's a couple of them. I have one from Russ. Can't remember his second name now.
Oh, also, Casper brings up something I wanted to mention. So Casper sent me an image of the terminal where they're experimenting on the rat. And you can see it both has the the black goo chemical name from the viral marketing of Prometheus, but it also says
Yeah.
Xenomorph LV426. So I'm like, okay, well, the company knew where the aliens came from, which begs the question, like, why spend 20 years looking for the wreckage of the Nostromo when you had a whole heap of aliens right there?
Only thing I can really guess there is the volcanic activity shut that beacon off a lot earlier than we'd expect. I had seen somebody post this previously. Yeah. Mitch says it's hard for him to criticize something made with so much love.
That's true,
fair as
and
well.
I get that, and that's the thing that's the most important for me is like, you can tell Fade's a fan and he knows the franchise, because there's things in there that someone who wasn't a fan wouldn't have put in that movie. There's other things where it feels like fan service pandery, and I'm like, come on, like that's not what fans are looking for.
I don't feel like any of it's pandering. I feel like it's that argument that we had with some of the authors. You know, they are wanting to recreate those moments and they're having fun doing it, whereas we're like, yeah, but it's super fucking distracting. Can you not? Fortunately, I forgive the film for a lot of it because it puts its own twist on so much of the sort of reused elements. A lot of the dialogue reuse feels right as well if it fits within the context of the scene. Although the busy creatures thing I could do without, the you have my sympathies I could do without.
I
The
noticed
you bitch I could do without.
there was an Alien 3 one too. When Tyler gets killed by the aliens rushing him, he goes, come on, is that all you got? Is that all you got? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Dylan from Alien 3. Okay, good. I was hoping he would go by the spacesuits here.
Xenomania says isolation made it canon that the Marlowe crew turned off the Derelict's beacon. Well, unfortunately, it's a video game, and what's the saying, Adam? It's canon until it's not.
Yep. Oh, let's bring my HUD back. And should still be invisible. Let's hope.
Not Mitch. Crawling Chaos says I don't know what version of the work print I got. I found it on original trilogy. Fair enough. I think there's a couple virtual work prints, so to speak, out there of Alien. It's Russell Waggis is one I've got. I think as well as the first one. I just can't remember who made the first one. Sarah says Aliens was the only movie that was love at first sight for me. Alien was a slow burn. Alien 3 took the assembly cut, and I've grown to appreciate Resurrection for what it was. So it's early with Romulus. So Romulus is 20 years after Alien. How long after Alien is Isolation? I can't remember.
That's a good question. Somebody look it up.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Isn't it like 15 years? Like Amanda be early mid-20s or something?
So Isolation.
Or maybe it's a little longer than that.
Isolation is 2137. I'll bring up the calc because I can't do fucking mathematics. The public education system failed me.
I thought you guys had a good one.
I'm kidding. I was fine. I'm just not used.
They're saying it is 15 years.
Okay. So yeah, Marlowe could have done it. Mitch says the callback lines weren't for us, the rest was. The audience went ballistic with every callback line. So I experienced that in some of my showings. The UK premiere in particular had people cheering at the bitch line, and I was just like, ugh. I suppose maybe they didn't know where the alien actually came from until they found the Narcissus.
That they did not go inside because of the door.
No, it's fine. They just put it back. They went through the side entrance. Maybe they didn't need to go inside. Maybe they just turned on the Bluetooth.
Okay, Ripley doesn't have a headlamp, and so this makes me kind of curious. Maybe I can illuminate him with the flamethrower. That would be
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, let's give that a shot.
Caustic Viper says the fact he put in the name Plegarius Praepotent shows his dedication to detail and love for the franchise. And Mitch says Manu Malinox Hydrate as well. Yeah, guys, I got the biggest fucking grin on my face.
It does illuminate him.
When he said Plegarius, and then when I saw Manu Mala on one of the screens as well. That's cool. That's a cool effect, Adam.
Let's see. Yeah. It's kind of hard because you don't want it to get the model in there.
That's alright. You can just use generative filter to get rid of it, surely.
Oh, that's cheating.
Sarah says, if you could add one thing to Romulus, what would it be?
If I could
just take away the
if I could add one thing, replace the end bit where either Scorchy comes back, and I know people will roll their eyes and groan at this, but or the original Big Chap, like if they would have changed that so that it survives and comes back at the end, and that's the last alien she has to deal with, that would have been cool. I just didn't like the Prometheus monster, guys. Like,
I fucking love the Offspring. He actually gave me fucking affected my sleep. I messaged Dane the other day, and I went, "Thanks for the fucking nightmare fuel."
I mean, I do like how demented it is because I took my mother to see that movie, and after they escaped the station, she was like, "I hate you. Thank God it's over." And I was just grinning because I'm like, "Oh, it's not over." So like, I'm torn on that bit because it's pretty demented, but at the same time, it's like this thing comes out and it's literally an adult in like less than a minute, and so
it's Prometheus. It's Black Goo related.
and I've
Things
never
go really
liked
fast.
that shit. So because I just think it's ridiculous, but.
So Sarah, still collating, says Romulus was 2142. Wasn't Hadley's Hope established soon after it and slowly built up? Ooh, that's why they started Hadley's Hope, guys. After they got in the Narcissus and Bluetoothed in and got some of the data. Mitch says just the concept of 3D printing facehuggers is cool as fuck.
That was cool. Although it's weird, it's like they cloned facehuggers from the alien. Like what?
Well, they reverse engineer it from the Black Goo bits in the DNA. I mean, the film doesn't go into it enough. I guess it doesn't really need to. But I mean, I didn't know how authentic that felt. The bio 3D printing. Is that something we can do currently?
Yeah, haven't they 3D printed some, like, they've been experimenting with
meat,
replacement organs and clone meat and stuff, yeah, so
maybe that isn't too outlandish.
No, I thought that was an interesting concept. Like, I didn't have a problem with that in principle. It just seemed a little odd, like, how they got the facehugger from Big Chap.
I suppose it shows how much they're all integrated. Gusty Viper says they might have known it was from LV-426, but didn't know the exact location of the derelict, so could explain why they greenlit the building of Hadley's Hope and hired all the wildcatters. I mean, that's sort of what River of Pain hints at, wasn't it? That was the reason that they were there, because they knew something was there, they just didn't know where it was. And that's because Marlowe turned it off.
Whoa. I think I've borked my model there. Look at that.
Crawling Chaos says, yeah, I love the Offspring as much as I hate the newborn. I love the Offspring. Genuinely fun. Terrifying.
I've always liked taking screenshots of the alien here with the chains.
Oh, of course, naturally.
And in the previous DLC, you get to go up there, the upper catwalk.
Yeah, true. Where we see Brett's dead body.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Yeah. So yeah, Adam, apparently bioprinting is already a thing. And I'd heard about the meat thing because it was like it's our replicators. Didn't know they were looking at organs and stuff though. That's cool. Xenomania says, are the Romulus Xenos considered a pure strain then, or would there be another clone strain like Resurrection? I think they're a different strain because doesn't Rook talk about doing something? I can't quite remember now. But even then, it can't be pure, so to speak, because I think the film makes a point of knowing that Kane is involved in it somehow. You know, because you see Kane's DNA on one of the screens. M Project says the Offspring was terrifying. I loved it. Hope NECA makes a figure. I hope they do as well.
Uh-oh.
Caustic Viper says the Offspring was to me a welcome sight. It was both a spiritual successor to the new boom, but also a physical representation that no one is safe when Xenos are involved. They're all different strains, really. I suppose apart from between Alien and Aliens.
I mean, I do love how the aliens look in Romulus. It's the most biomechanical design we've had in a long time.
I can't wait to be able to look at stills of it coming out the cocoon. That detail on the suit that you see then. Bless you.
Well, thank you. M Project says, I love the slow stalking animation so much. It feels just like Balaji Badejo. They really nailed the aliens' movements in isolation. I recently replayed it again on Nightmare Mode. Masterpiece. Nice, yeah. When we do finally start playing this again for the anniversary, I will be playing it vanilla.
I've already started it. I'm about 3 recordings in.
I've beaten it on Nightmare. I died a lot. I would like to do it dying a bit less.
Have you done a run through where you don't die yet?
I think I did on like...
I think I did one on hard.
I think I did it on easy, actually, just to get the achievement, and I just, whenever he charged me, I just reloaded the save.
Caustic Viper says best.
Okay, that's interesting.
Caustic Viper says best way I can describe Romulus altogether is to take Resurrection and inject elements of Prometheus, Isolation, and Aliens. I like to describe it as a scenario, a custom scenario from the RPG. Just taken by some bloke who loves the lore as presented in the RPG, the consolidated lore between everything. And I feel the love and the genuine love in there. Caleb says it did very much feel like an RPG scenario in a good way. Yeah, completely agree. I don't say that disparagingly because I also use that description for I was gonna say Rogue Incursion. Then that's not the right game. Dark Descent. That's the same way I describe Dark Descent.
As what?
A custom RPG scenario.
Yeah. Man, I need to play through that game again. I love that game. That's another game that I had to like photo mode hack, and that one took a lot more work. Like, I'd have to see if I can remember exactly how I did it. I had to like go into the files and stuff for that one. But I did get some pretty cool screenshots, so I would like to do it again. There's this guy on Twitter. I think his like on Patreon he goes by Otis. I'm trying to remember his name, but he creates a bunch of custom photo mode hacks. So I do wonder if he did one for Dark Descent, but he helped kind of guide me through the process of, because I had to disable a bunch of different individual HUD elements and like custom script it for Dark Descent. It was a rough one to get that working. But I did, and that game, even though it's a top-down, tactics game, looks a lot better than it has any right to be, even up close. Number 9 says, Adam, is your machine 4K? It is 2K, actually. My monitor is. So, not quite. I do like the... But, I mean, do you guys like this? Are you bored? You could be honest with me. I did a lot of this for Predator Hunting Grounds as well. As a matter of fact, I think I will take credit for being the reason they added the option to disable the HUD, because they told me as much. Because I kept doing screenshots and kept asking them, like, hey, can you guys make it so we can just disable the HUD? And they ended up interviewing me on their website about the screenshots. So I'm very excited for that game to be making a comeback as well, hopefully. And seeing what new Predators they add.
When we're supposed to be getting the update? Is it September?
Yeah, they did kind of... I thought they said... Ooh, I like this one. I thought they said, like, summer for the Xbox release. And the PS... They're giving it, like, an official PS5 release as well. Yeah, that's cool. With him just in the water there.
Crawling Chaos says, any word on Xenomorphin's opinion on Romulus? It's about what you'd expect.
Eric doesn't like anything.
I mean, he didn't hate it.
That's true, but I was surprised. I honestly thought I was going to be the lowest score for it.
No. I'm surprised how much I loved it, especially considering how much I fucking hated it coming out of the premiere.
Yeah, I'm just so sorry about that, man, because that, like, I feel like I had such a good experience at the premiere of Prey, and that probably boosted my opinion of the film, honestly. Yeah, so that movie was like a 9 out of 10 for me, Prey was. And this I gave a 7.5 out of 10 on our podcast. It's like right there. Like, I want it to be an 8, but it's just... I feel
like this is my fucking... I don't want to compare it to Requiem, because it's genuinely a competent film with a lot of value going to it. But I feel like I'm just... It's a thing, isn't it? You know, you hear the negativity more than you ever hear the positivity. And it's funny because Fede talked about that recently in one of the interviews I read. He was saying, you know, like Ridley, he doesn't read reviews because all that ever sticks with him are the ones that shit on it. So, like, he was saying how even though Don't Breathe had, you know, fairly positive reaction and reception, the one thing he remembers is one of the headlines that just slagged the film off. And it's the thing, you know, the negative stuff sticks with you more, and it's a shame, and it's kind of ruining some of my experience of enjoying the film so much, because I kind of like want to see more people having a fun time with it like I am.
I think it's a fun movie. Like, don't get me wrong. Even with my niggles, as you call them, I do think it's a very fun movie. Ooh, I like that shot there.
Is that a British thing?
It must be, because I've never heard of it.
Is that a me thing?
Maybe that's just a you thing.
No, it's in the Oxford Dictionary.
Niggles.
A trivial criticism, discomfort, or annoyance.
He's got his niggles.
I like that. A trivial criticism. It's trivial, Adam. Your thoughts.
Well, at least I can admit it's
trivial.
That's kind of cool. Oh, he disappears there. Okay.
Tyler says that they're enjoying the stream.
Oh, well, good. Yeah, I know this isn't our usual just video game play stuff, but I thought it might be an interesting switch up. And we will be playing Isolation, like, we will be streaming Isolation a bunch in October for its anniversary. That will be our Isolation month.
Xenomania says this is a cool stream, especially for people who want to experiment with mod tools like this. Someone could make cool machinimas with a tool like... Well, they fucking tried to make a machinima out of the game and it did not go well.
They tried to make what?
A machinima.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It was so bad. Yeah, it's a shame because like the entire budget went into those like animations where she was telling the story.
Oh god, that was such a misfire. That was such a genuine misfire,
Yeah.
and it's a shame because I was talking with the folk at Fox around that time, and they wanted to do so much more with it. They just did not have the budget. They had, if I'm remembering rightly, you all know what my fucking memory's like, guys and girls. They had wanted to like engage Access to do something, but they couldn't because of the cost.
And they're just like
Don't get me
too
wrong.
much money.
I think the original stuff in the digital series actually looked pretty decent. You know, like the opening scene and then the bookend of it. That stuff looked cool.
Yeah. But it was just a shame because it felt like they were bringing attention to isolation back with the comics and the only thing that kind of did it for us was Blackout.
We're also kind of poo. Yeah.
The one that
And to be
everyone
fair,
was griping about.
I think we were a little outlier on that one. I think Blackout was far better than a lot of people give it credit for.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Resistance and Rescue were so mediocre. You know what? They were so mediocre to me that I completely forgot about the Alec Brand character. And then when I was reading Enemy of My Enemy, I was like, I kind of think I'm supposed to know who this is. And I had to Google him, and it turned out it was the guy that they saved in Resistance, and I just completely forgot. Caustic Viper says, "Oh, Adam, that particle effect with the lighting made me think of the storm on LV-223 from Prometheus."
Oh, well, cool.
Caleb says, "It is a British thing. I don't think you could get away with that in the US." I mean, yeah, fair. Greg says, "Don't worry, most people are loving it." Yeah, it does seem to be very well regarded. You know, the audience score is pretty reasonable on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's have a quick look. It's like I say, you just hear the negative more, and it has such a more lasting effect on your mood and impression than anything else.
I mean, I still like the movie. Like, there's a lot more in the movie that I like than
But
dislike.
don't you find yourself talking more about the negative, the things that you dislike?
It's
Than
the
things
only
that you
reason
like?
I'm doing that is because it's so frustrating that it's like right there for me. I'm like, you almost did it. Like, yeah, part of that is my own personal expectations, right? Because I do want something more like Isolation, where it's just there's nothing there with the prequels. But the prequel stuff that was there, I do think they kind of handled it well. I was a bit like, really, you flatten the rat and just bring it back to life? Like, again, it gets to the point where I'm like, that's Resident Evil shit, not Alien, for me.
See, the reconciliation of the law was something I fucking loved. You know, it was like I'm gonna ask Fede when he's on the show, because I know he used Xenopedia a lot, but I want to know if he actually read Cold Forge, if he actually read Into Charybdis, and that's one of the things that I love about Alex White's stuff is how it reconciles the prequel elements with the mainline films. So for me, actually getting this live action cinematic mashup of Alex White's novels, of Isolation, um, of the RPG, I was like, damn, yeah, this feels like it was made for me. And in a lot of the same ways that I feel like Alex made Into Charybdis and Cold Forge for me.
But yeah, it seems like the general public really digs it.
86% on the audience rating on Rotten
So
Tomatoes.
forever.
IMDb's.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hang on, I'm just looking it up on IMDb as well. I think that was around 7% the last I looked. 7.4 on IMDb. So the general consensus is it's very well loved. It's just that's like I said, it's just one of those things. You hear the people bitching about it louder than you do the people that are praising it.
Yeah, I mean, for whoever thought, oh, Disney's going to ruin Alien and Predator, they've objectively not done that. Like, objectively, both franchises are in way better places now than they were in the late 2010s after the Predator and Covenant. Like, regardless, however you feel about Romulus, the franchises are in a much better place now than they were.
Prey is currently 7.1 on IMDb and 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. Although Prey was better critically received, 94%.
Yep. And that's kind of where I fell with Prey. Like, it was a 9 out of 10, so I'm like, I want Alien to get back there for me. Kind of like Alien Isolation is, you know, where it's just that good. But I still really like Romulus, and honestly, I was kind of worried, like, I would enjoy it less each time I watch it. But I found myself, like, enjoying it more. Like, the last time I watched it, I was like, I should just, this movie's like an 8 for me, maybe. So, I don't know. I'm very torn on it, but I know I'm either like a 7.5 out of 10 or an 8. But what are you going to give it? Because you said if you're doing a written review, because you said you like it more than Prey, and you gave Prey a 9.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one for me because
Ooh, I like that.
the things I dislike in Romulus annoy me. Like, they really annoy me. But I don't really know how to articulate it. I was going to start writing a written review tomorrow, but I'm struggling to just bring it all together in my mind. Mitch says, my only complaint with Blackout was the rinse and repeat storyline. The gameplay and design was fine. Was great. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No Star Dutch says, I think fandoms often forget that the movies aren't made just for them.
That's true. That's true. And that's what I thought Prey did perfectly. It balanced being accessible to newcomers and appeasing the hardcore fans. Whereas I feel like with Romulus, it's going to do really well with general audiences, and that's great. I want Alien to be successful as a franchise. It'll be a bit more controversial with fans, but not nearly to the level of the prequels. And again, that's a win for me. Like, I have not walked out of an Alien movie feeling some measure of good for a long time. Like, with Prometheus and Covenant, there's things about them I love, and I still love rewatching them. And there's, like, they're bigger budget movies. They're impressive. Like, the production design is amazing. Like, I do like seeing the Xenomorph in Covenant, and even Prometheus. Like, there's things I really like about that movie. I've always thought it was a strong, just sci-fi movie if you kind of take out the whole expectations of it being an Alien prequel. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily agree with that, because I think the problems with Prometheus for me don't come from its connections to Alien so much as its own internal consistency and continuity, and I just fucking hate Shaw. I genuinely loathe her as a character. She's one of the... I have a problem with her in the same way that I have a problem with people who are so... It's what I think makes discourse so difficult online nowadays, because she's so sure of herself, and even when presented with the facts and the evidence right in her face, she refuses to believe it. You know, that's why I really fucking hate her as a character. And Shaw, you know, Holloway frustrates me as a character. His old disappointment with all the engineers being dead. You know, it's not like we were told he was ever expecting to find them alive, and he's just made
he's just gonna get hammered.
The most, well, arguably the most important archaeological and xenoarchaeological discovery of all time at that point. And he's
bummed out, man. We just got here day one, you know, made the most important discovery ever, and I'm just
So I don't think Prometheus's problems are in its connection to Alien.
That's true. Characters do a lot of nonsensical stuff in that movie where they can't just run to the left, or they want to pet a space cobra.
No,
like
I will always defend the film for that. They do move. They change direction. People don't want to notice it. Sarah says, if we're Bagsy in novels, Scott Siegler definitely made Phalanx for her. I think Phalanx is also one of the best things that the Alien franchise has to offer us at the minute. I don't feel like it was made for me in the same way that Alex made their novels, but I still fucking love Phalanx.
Yeah. And I love that it got an Alien versus Predator sequel.
It's so random, wasn't it? It was so fucking random.
I mean,
we didn't have to do a lot of work on that one, did we?
So close.
no, I remember I gave a suggestion on that one where with the female predator, I was like, well, we haven't seen predators like discriminate in terms of who can hunt and who can't. So I was like, you should, and it made me think of AVP2 with Prince and the whole idea of like a predator royalty or someone who's like special in his line or whatever. So it's like, why don't you make it like that where she's the last of her line? And so that was, but don't tell anyone I said that because the author gets all the credit for that. But they did make that change, and I thought that was cool.
A lot of comments in the chat about
Mike's Monsters coming in to give me grief already. No, I did not make the boob suggestion, but Disney did. We specifically know on that book in particular, someone described, and I think it was that story actually, the predator is not having boobs.
Yeah.
And Disney was like, nope, they have like refer to predator hunting grounds.
Doesn't Crean say something about predator tits in it, if I remember right?
I can't remember. It was a while ago we did work on that. But welcome to the stream, Mike.
Come on,
He's been around for a while.
Oh, I guess I've just been focused on this. Oh, yeah. Okay. Mike says something else interesting. As someone who always likes to bring up Resident Evil and enjoying the vibes, I'm surprised you don't want Resident Evil vibes in Alien. Well, I do love Resident Evil a lot, and yeah, that is a weird thing, but what I feel like works in Resident Evil isn't necessarily what I feel would work in Alien. I've never liked the Alien as this kind of viral thing because I think it just, I don't know. Like, I like a bit of mystery in the Alien. I think there's still things you can reveal about it, which I like that about the chrysalis and the cocoon in Romulus.
I fucking love that cocoon. Like, that was one of the scenes they showed at the footage presentation, and I just kept thinking about it. I was like, this is so Alien. A lot of comments in the chat about the General Cinemas going crazy for the callback lines. Greg notes.
I mean, in Resident Evil, they're literally like flying a helicopter through a city and destroying a monster the size of a building with a railgun. Like, do you want that in Alien? Like, I don't know if it would fit. In Resident Evil, it's fucking awesome, but...
Greg says, and it seems to have made its money back already. It's officially making a profit already. Whereas Covenant, because of its budget, didn't even break even. If we're taking the 2.5 multiplier as a rule. Doomslayer, welcome to the stream.
Now, the game does crash at this part sometimes, the self-destruct thing, so we'll see if it does. I may have to back out of here and get the part.
Tyler says, I've seen a lot of convo and reappraisal for Covenant, and especially Prometheus on Twitter. What do you all think of that? Well, obviously, my opinion on Twitter, as I've just gone through... not Twitter. My opinion on Prometheus...
it crashed.
Doesn't really change. Covenant, I've always loved Covenant. You know, I don't like it. I don't like it as much as I like Romulus. Not by a long stretch. I'm opening myself up to attack here, but, you know, for the longest time, the original trilogy was all on the same level for me. You know, I could never pick a favourite between Aliens, and Alien 3. Objectively, I know Alien and Aliens are the technical better films, and the critical better films, and the objectively better films, but I could never pick a favourite from the three. I add Romulus to that now. I cannot pick a favourite between Aliens, Alien 3 and Romulus. Covenant I could always place below those films because the alien aspects of that film piss me off. Don't piss me off. They disappoint me that much. Adam just hates all the prequels.
I don't. I hate them. It's not like
it's a different thing.
It's not like...
No, it's the same.
I've actually watched Prometheus and Covenant a lot, and there's a lot about them I like. It's not like The Predator, where The Predator, I've watched less than... Like, by far, I've watched less than any of the movies and the franchises. With Prometheus and Covenant, I've actually watched them a lot. Like production design, creature design, even in them. Like there's so much about those movies I like, which is why they're so frustrating for me. It's mainly just lore implications and
You just don't like the Black Goo,
nonsensical stuff of the plot. It's I mean, I don't know. The Black Goo just to me it's like Damon Lindelof writing. It's like it just does whatever it does for the plot, and that's that's what it does. And I'm like,
It was a lot more straightforward in Space's thing, because in Space's thing it was just Scarab things deliver DNA of whatever that they bit last, and they happened to bite aliens at some point and delivered alien DNA.
It's like in Fireteam Elite, where it mutates the aliens and makes them into neomorphs.
That annoys me.
But
because that's internal consistency with the films. That is not how they were presented in Covenant, so that's why that annoys me. That is not how neomorphs were made. Then again, it's like I've said to you in the past. I don't know how you ever enjoyed the expanded universe previously, because we've had that story element for a million years. It is the royal jelly.
I didn't find the royal. I mean, first of all, I could kind of like keep that compartmentalized in the expanded universe, and I didn't find it as like MacGuffin-y as the Black Goo.
I think you need to read more of the comics.
Maybe I do. Maybe I need to revisit some. Uh-oh. Can he see me?
Crawling Chaos says,
there.
I will keep saying it till the day I die. Monolith's AVP2 game is perfect for a movie adaptation. It's got a cool story, and we have to hang with the Marines mostly with just some cuts to the Predator.
He's got a bit of an underbite going on. That sometimes bugs out with his model.
Fucking hell. And AVP2 game also got the Wayland Yutani scientists and the mercenary soldiers as part of the story.
He's a southern alien. Okay, there we go. That's kind of cool.
Do you think he came out of The Offspring and come out of K?
Maybe, given what we found out about that.
Oh, Kalen's fucking trolling. I wish Alien would go as batshit as Resident Evil so we could finally go full Kenner. You never go full Kenner. You know the rules. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I do love these Survivor mode DLCs just for the extra parts of the station you get to explore that are not in the main game. But I just wish they were more narrative driven instead of just objective driven. Like, I guess they didn't have the budget for that, but this is cool. Like seeing this executive apartment on the station. So I'm glad we have them, but I just don't like the do this thing and get out objectives there that are all timed.
They are, yeah. But it's a different game mode, isn't it? It's not really narrative.
Oh, here he come. Welcome to my apartment, Mr. Alien.
Mike says, I didn't know Alien 3 was disliked until I got on the internet as a teenager. It's funny, one of my first memories of getting online and getting involved in the fandom was, for those of you that are old enough in the chat, I joined a mail group back in 2001 or something like that. alt.cult.movie.alien, I think it was. You can still access it on fucking Google Archives somehow. I can't remember how, but you can. I've done it in the past. And one of my first experiences was finding out people hated aliens because of the Queen.
What?
Yeah. So that was, it was the whole insect thing at the time that was a bugbear, apparently. So that was one of my first experiences of fandom.
That's funny.
There's a reason I'm not actively involved in many fandoms. A lot of them do just feel like hate chambers online. Facebook in particular is just a fucking cesspit, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I have
Like I can't moderate the page. It's impossible. We're over 100,000 followers on the page,
Yeah.
and on the group is 100,000 people on the Facebook group. How the fuck are we as? It's like me, you, and Moses that tend to look after the Facebook page. And I think it's mostly Moses on the group. Sorry, not the page. It's fucking impossible. That's why I kind of like the boards as well. You know, they're not quiet, but they are intimate enough that we can enforce our rules. I've missed a lot of the chat. I'm going to have to go to the bottom. Crawling Chaos says, I'm old enough to have watched Alien 3 in 92. His back hurts even more than mine and yours backs do. But yes, I never encountered so much impotent rage for movies until I got on the internet.
I mean, I'd like to say our fandom is not the worst. Although I have seen on Twitter lately, with as popular Alien has gotten in the discussion, some have been saying there's a bit more toxicity, which is natural. You know, when something gets more attention, you'll have people come in giving, you know, if not giving bad takes, not being civil about disagreements. You know, and I've seen that. I've seen people just be like putting people down for liking or disliking the movie, and that's always uncalled for.
Right, that's a problem I have with a lot of... I don't necessarily care about your opinions, it's how you engage other people with them. I hate people that are dismissive, or have a superior attitude or a smug attitude or stuff like that. They're the people that I just ban. A lot of love for Godzilla 98 in the chat for some reason. I don't know where this has come from.
Probably Sizzy, if I know her. Well, if it didn't, she appreciates it, I'm sure. Oh,
I always enjoyed that.
Where are you going?
Mitch says a lot of Alien fans seem to have forgotten how to have fun. I think fans in quotation marks in general on the internet just don't know how to have fun these days. Caleb says you hate people who have a smug, superior attitude, but we're British. Yeah, but we're a fucking inept culture, Caleb. I think we lost the right to have a smug, superior attitude long ago. But then again, I'm also the kind of person that will just go through a day with his head in his hands going, I feel like I'm surrounded by fucking morons. So maybe I'm not as high and mighty as I would suggest there. Crawling Chaos says, believe it or not, when I watched The Phantom Menace in 99, I did not meet anybody who hated it. But then again, we were barely online back then.
I love that movie as a kid.
I like the prequels still at the minute. And I always have. I think in my edgy teen days, I shit on them. But then, when did I rewatch them? Because I wasn't really into Star Wars for quite a while, I'll be honest. I watched them. I watched the re-release of the OG trilogy. Well, it wasn't really OG, was it? I watched Lucas's re-edits when they were re-released in the cinema. Here we go. We've already got one in the chat here. Zamulus the Holy says Romulus was crap, except for the synthetic was a good character. I know, there's just something about the way that kind of opinion's presented. It gets my back up. Sarah says, did you manage to get the Odeon bucket, Hicks? I did. I sent Mrs. Hicks to get it, bless her cottons, in the middle of the day. She worked in town. I've still got buddies who work at the Odeon. I used to work at the Odeon. It was my first job.
My first job was also a movie theater, Cinemark.
Nice. They're the ones that did all the good Romulus stuff, weren't they?
They did the Slime Cup and the Covenant had one.
Okay.
Regal kind of did the best ones.
Regal did the best. Okay. So yeah, I went straight to Odeon as my first job. I think I was too young actually. You had to be 18, but they let me work in there when I was 17. It just meant I couldn't go and do bits in the 18 rated films. I couldn't screen check them or anything. But I always said that was one of the best jobs I ever had. It was just such a simple...
Free movies.
Well, yeah, at the time, you could go and see as many free movies as you wanted, and you had 12 extra tickets throughout the year for like friends and family. But it was such a fucking easy job. It was so good. You just cleaned and ripped tickets and talked about films with people coming in and the people there, and I had some of my best nights out with the people from there.
This is.
Then I got a car and couldn't afford to live off part-time wages.
This is another one of my favorite bits of the Survivor mode. Seeing this cool movie theater on the station, because it's just
I love that.
another location we didn't get in the main game. It's really spooky having these people just like dead in their seats while the projector's still going.
Just having a chest burst in the middle of a film.
And then the
Are any
lights
of them
go
chest
off.
bursted actually? Or are they just...
I think so. Let's see. Oh no, he's just got his guts ripped out. Also has his guts ripped out.
I guess the alien didn't like the film. Sarah, did you get one of the buckets? Sorry, I just realised I didn't ask you.
Oh, where are you at? Where are you at?
No, it was not an alien head. It was like a metallic bucket with a facehugger around the side of it, and it had like some of the key art from Romulus on it, which I loved. Sarah says, my first job was at a video store, and I got the Regal ones waiting for me in Cincinnati. And I'm the happy owner of the Odeon popcorn bucket. Yeah, my stuff's waiting for me in Salt Lake, isn't it?
Yep, I will send that out. I hope you're ready for a shipping fee with all that stuff.
Mate, just give me a fucking warning before you do. Oh yeah. Sean says, I stupidly or wisely pre-ordered that Hollywood Collectibles. What's the other C stand for? HCC.
Hollywood.
HCG.
I think it's Hollywood Creature Collectibles or something.
Okay. Well, we know what it means. Romulus Pulse Rifle last week. Damn, dude.
Didn't I give you the little USB?
Bank.
Didn't I give you the little USB drive of this robot dude?
Did you give it me?
Yeah, I think I sent it to you.
I think I have one. I didn't think you.
Yeah, I gave that to you because I got it from winning that competition, and I sent it to you in a care package one year.
I have it somewhere. I thought it might be on my shelf, but it's not. I've got it somewhere. Xander, welcome to the stream.
Whoa,
Where have you been, you fucking simp? Only joining now. Sarah says, "Geez, Sean, I'm very jealous, but my credit card is."
Samurai, there was a facehugger popcorn bucket. It's the AMC
The
one,
Odeon one
and the Odeon one in the UK. Does he see me?
Tyler
Does he see
says,
me?
I got.
Oh, sometimes the invisibility doesn't work.
I love the overhead monitors as well. Tyler says, I got 2 buckets and a cup from Regal. I also got the really cool glass and pin set from Alamo Draft House. Yeah, I really liked the glass stuff. Super 7, is that what the company's called? Who do the figures?
The little retro looking ones, yeah.
Yeah, they did some like 90s, 80s style glasses. Like drink glasses. Fuck off.
What?
I'm just looking on eBay for some. There's some £153 from Japan, actually. They are so good, though. I was looking at the Super 7 did that egg chamber. Oh shit, I'm playing that. Did that egg chamber play set as well, and it was I think they were like selling for 300 fucking quid on Super 7 egg alien.
There's a lot of red
chamber.
here. Maybe that would look good.
Yeah, nearly 300 quid for it on eBay. For what amounts to a piece of cardboard and a bit of plastic on the floor. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, I do wish I had a Alamo Draft House in Salt Lake City because I really did like the pins and glasses they got for Romulus. And it's such a cool experience too. Like they have good food there and they'll theme their menus after like movies and stuff. So they had an alien themed menu. Stompy can't see me.
That's better actually. There's another Super 7 pint glass for only 20 quid or $20.
Oh,
Amazon.
Okay, let's see how this looks.
Because I said quid. That's why you were being a dick about it, Mitch. Fair enough. Number 9 says, Adam, do you think Dark Descent might have a photo mode? Well, you spoke about this a little bit earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to add one. I had to, and maybe I can put together a guide for how I did that. I'd have to relearn how I did that, honestly. But I had some guidance from this guy that does custom photo modes on Twitter, and I had to actually adjust some stuff with the scripting and use Reshade, I guess. And it was my first time using that one. So that helped me kind of disable all the HUD elements. And I used that in tandem with the NVIDIA Ansel photo mode. But I do need to play through Dark Descent again because I'm like, why have I only played that once? And it is one of the best alien games ever made.
Fucking love that game so much. Tyler says, I got the facehugger fries for my Alamo screening and it was delicious.
Yeah, my local theater had the Xeno donuts, which was kind of fun. I'm surprised they did anything. But, I mean, Alamo Draft House is where it's at because they got great beers and food. And they kick people out if they are disruptive. That's kind of their thing.
Well, that's what cinemas should be doing. That's what we used to have to do when I worked there. If you were on your phone, if you were talking, you got kicked out. And this was just an Odeon chain. Sander says, I'm tempted to get the HCC Romulus pulse rifle, but I could use the money for a fan film instead. It's funny, I can't remember which Facebook group it was, but there was one group where a bloke was sharing pictures of his get up to go and see Romulus, and he'd modified a pulse rifle. A normal pulse rifle M41A to be a bit more Romulus, an F44AA looking one, you know, with it being white, and added the 4 on the magwell and stuff like that. That I liked. I thought that was pretty cool. Crawling Chaos says they have to do a Predator helmet popcorn bucket when Badlands comes out.
Oh, for
depends
sure.
if this is. Well, it depends if it's still a popular thing at the time.
I mean, it has been. I guess Dune kind of made it super popular, but I remember a few years ago they had like this limited edition popcorn bucket at Disney World that was like a little figment dragon from the Journey into the Imagination ride, and people lined up for like 5 hours for it. It was nuts.
Okay, okay. Custy Viper says, Dark Descent was so good, my friend was scared at how fast the runners moved. Sean says, oh, how happy were you, Aaron, with the skull being visible again in Romulus? I know you're pro skull. Damn right, we were talking about this earlier, actually. Fucking loved it. Absolutely loved it. I loved the sort of degraded corpse of Big Chap as well, where you got to see the skull more evidently in there. And the harpoon through his back. Loved it. Number 9 says, Dark Descent, can it get close up? You could zoom in pretty well, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could zoom in right to the models.
Sarah says, just googled the Alamo Drafthouse Romulus themed menu. That's awesome. I think number 9 wants you to do a stream on a photo stream for Dark Descent.
I can do that one.
We can do that one another day, can't we?
Yeah. Oh, I got a revolver. Uh-oh. I'm still in free cam. Oh. Whoa. Messed up my field of view there. Okay.
Sarah says, speaking of nightmare fuel, that hanging big chap corpse has haunted my dreams.
Yeah.
I thought that was...
At first, I was like, I didn't use my head, and I was like, how did he get up there? And it's like, oh, because they shot him on the floor above, and he melted through,
Yes,
and he was hanging from some stuff.
Exactly. His swan song, I believe, Rook describes it as, isn't it?
And I know you've always liked the focus on like consequences of acid, which this movie really had a focus on. Although it did feel a little like, really, the elevator stopped all that decompression at the end.
That was one of the logic gaps in the film, because it knocked enough of the fucking aliens down there that they should have been acid damage under the floor of the elevator anyway, and scorched corpse should have bled through it. That was one of the logic holes. Brother Johnny says, would you guys like to see a sequel to Romulus? I don't know if I'd necessarily like to see... don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Rain, I really enjoyed Andy. I don't know if I'd necessarily want to see more of them, mostly because I think it'd get too repetitive if we continue down another line of they coincidentally end up being involved with the aliens again.
Although it would be nice to finally see, since the second Alien film, like a continuation of a character, because characters have really bad luck in the Alien franchise going from one movie to the next.
I mean, it's only because Prometheus and Covenant didn't really resonate with people. Sean says, right, chaps, I got to shoot off. I'll see you at the event, Mr. Hicks. Hope you'll have the energy. Yes, hopefully the traffic's fine and I can come into the city when I get there on Thursday. It'd be nice to hang out on the Thursday as well. I'll let you know, buddy.
Thanks for joining us, Sean.
I definitely want... I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Fede do another Alien film. But it just depends on if he's aware of and would alleviate the concerns I do have with Romulus.
Where the hell is it?
Yes, Sean, I'll send you my mobile later, mate. Oh, it's almost like you me at the minute with the facehuggers in this mission.
I just didn't see where it's coming from. You hear it. But yeah, I always have to remember to reactivate my invisibility anytime I interact with a door, and that's why I got killed by the facehugger there, actually, because I just interacted with that door.
Didn't turn invisible. Xenomania says, how do people feel about the cocoon big chap made to survive space? I thought that was a great idea, but if the cocoon got caught by a planet's gravity, it could survive entry and the in. But I really liked the cocoon. I thought it was a cool little facet of things that they can do.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me, since we've played through it somewhat recently, not recently enough, AVP Extinction, where right after the chestburster phase happens, you see it cocoon itself to become an adult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Extinction was the first thought I had when I saw that scene. I think Peter Briggs had something similar in his first draft, where an alien's molting into a queen or something like that, and there's a cocoon there. I dug both of them. I really did.
All right, now I will go invisible again.
I loved how much the the chestburster one was very birth-like, or what I as a male imagine birth to look like.
There you are, little guy.
Get him! Get him! Stupid facehugger.
I wonder, can I just whack him? Probably. Oh, yeah. Oh, I did not know you could do that. Wow. I feel bad.
Deserves it. You know me and my affinity for facehuggers. Xander says, Adam, you're doing a fantastic job with taking pictures.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I feel like you're playing the game at this point. Or are you trying to get the cinema screen on?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the screen to, like, illuminate the alien. Oh, there's another facehugger.
Oh, did you forget about the...
Where are... Oh, there he is.
I know I never want to see David come back.
Really? Don't want to see him in the jockey chair?
No. And I know you want that purely for the fact to anger me.
Let Ridley complete his trilogy.
You're a spiteful little motherfucker, is what you are. Mitch says that guy just sat through the Predator.
For real. I've been thinking about watching that again recently, but yeah, that is like, I've watched that by far less than any of them.
Yeah, it's such a genuinely bad film.
I just remember walking back to the hotel from the premiere and just thinking about the movie in my head and being like, wow, that was just so bad. Just feeling so bummed out.
Yeah.
Still collating
Greg
says, yeah, I mean, I've brought him in there before, so maybe I need to, like, okay, here he is. Okay, come on.
Mike says, I watched The Predator during my COVID sick time last week. It made me catch COVID harder. Xander says, I love it when you guys sound like an old married couple. Did we just have a tiff? I didn't even notice. Did we just give each other share?
Maybe. Come on, alien. Come in here.
Xenomania says the alien is camera shy at the moment.
I swear I've gotten him in this room before, Greg.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure I've seen you do some screeners in here.
Noisemaker. Maybe I can make a noisemaker. Maybe that'll bring him in here. Oh, there he is.
Oh, did you ever get the Aspen beer, by the way?
Yeah, it's at a friend's house in Los Angeles.
You get some for both of us.
Yes, I will have to figure out how to mail booze to you because it's a little more tricky, I think, leaving the United States than entering the United States, although that will also be tricky. I mean, yeah, because you're supposed to go through a licensed... I know it probably wouldn't be detected if I just threw it in a box and sent it to you, but you're supposed to go through like a licensed alcohol dealer or something like that.
Well, you can't say that on the fucking internet stream, mate.
I'll snip that part.
Don't think you can you?
No, I said one might do that if they were so inclined. I wasn't saying I would ever do such a thing. But yeah, typically you have to, in my state, Utah in particular, does not, like, you're not supposed to receive alcohol. Granted, internationally, a lot of times they don't even check because I've ordered absinthe, like I ordered the Giger absinthe from Germany and it got here just fine, even though technically Utah's not supposed to do that. So.
Caleb says the Predator. No, the first movie is just called Predator, guys. What are you talking about? And Schwip says, I brought the novelization after I saw the Predator, hoping that it would somehow make sense of the shit I saw. The fucking novel was terrible because they went back and redid bits of it to work in the reshoots. Because I think Chris Golden wrote it from the early draft, the one with the emissaries, and then they paid some other bloke, I can't remember his name, to go and redo it to match the reshoots, and it's just ugh. It's such a shit novel. Xander says, clip that and send it to the government. Shrip says, man, Adam, I hope Aaron sends you nice stuff and this isn't just... I've got some beer
send
for him.
you more stuff than
You
you've
do.
sent me, so...
You do. To be fair, that's because all the fucking licensing stuff as well.
Yeah.
I do have to go out and buy this for me. It's because you're a rich American, I'm just a poor working class Brit. TV's taught me that all you Americans have lovely houses and lots of money.
At this point, maybe if you already had one, but the housing market's a little inaccessible at the moment.
Mitch says, I hope we... Schwip, I can't believe you called me out like that, man. That was just disrespectful. I don't even know if I've got... You get more cool stuff in the States.
I mean, yeah, with Alien we have, I would say. I mean, sometimes you guys will get something like the Madame Tussauds thing. I was like, oh man, I wish we had that here. But that was kind of rare, you know. We still got Alien Descent, which was so fucking awesome. I wish would have stuck around.
Fucking jelly here for that. Anyway, sorry. Mitch was saying, I hope we eventually get some kind of novel or behind-the-scenes book for Romulus. If we don't here, Japan will most likely do both, at least a novelization.
Well, I'd really like that art book that I know the PO guys did a petition for. I would love to see that. Because there's so much good concept art for the film.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd even told Ken about the ask, and he couldn't really say much. It's a shame. It's a genuine fucking shame, the state of... Then again, I have to wonder if perhaps the reason we haven't was because of the licensing stuff with Titan. You know, we know they've retained Alien versus Predator and Predator now.
I don't think we've said that to people before that.
Well, we know.
Yeah.
They were losing them, or they lost them, or the renegotiation bullshit was happening, but we know they've kept them. I wonder if something like that was also going off for Alien, and that's the reason why nothing's been done. But then again, when did we get... No, because we just got fucking on Civil War, didn't we? So
yeah, I think they were still under contract with Alien. I don't think that one's lapsed yet, like AVP and Predator did.
Yeah. And it's like Caleb says there in the chat as well, and it's what I said to you. You know, change.org petitions are never taken seriously. And it's a shame. And yeah, there's people disappointed in the chat that Romulus didn't get a novel. Schwip says, we'll call Fetty in for some alien couples counselling. Xander says, M Projects and I are in a similar boat. We send each other stuff, but shipping kills my wallet every time. Yeah, well, I mean, I can pay for the shipping now, don't I? Because it's that ridiculous. It didn't used to be. And Schwip says, Aaron, you gave us the gift of AVP scripts. I did. I spent $1,000 on AVP scripts. Well, I think it was over $1,000 on AVP scripts. Still need to scan in the other one. That's nice, Adam. That's a good shot. The grid.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've still got to scan in this other intermediate draft that still is after the first draft, but before the other ones that are on the board. Mike says, line up the dome with the circles on the screen.
Mike trying to be my photo teacher here. All right. 1 second.
Caleb says, it's the new FGM logo.
Why is my depth of field not working here?
I don't even know what he means. What circle's on the screen?
Oh, there we go. Now I got the depth of field.
Oh, the center circle.
Okay, tell me what to do, Mike.
He said, line up the dome with the circle on the screen.
I did that. I mean, for a different shot, but I'll do it before. I mean, I'll do it again. Let's see.
You're supposed to be showing off your artistic skills right now.
Oh, Mike's right. Yeah. Well, I'll let him walk a bit more forward, and then he'll be like right there, and we'll have this dead guy who looks like he's watching it. So let's get the focus right first. Okay. And then I'll let him move a bit. Bring down that time scale a bit more so he moves slowly.
M Project says, yeah, been developing Harrison and Duke replica costumes from AVP2 for me and Xander for a while. Just recently got an excellent 3D model of the pulse rifle and still have plenty of brown vests left. That's cool. I can't wait to see what that looks like, guys. I keep being tempted to get some of the armor, but the thing at the minute is I can't paint. I like to think I might be mediocre with words on the written form where I can think about it. I sound like a fucking moron when I talk half the time. But I like to think I'm a decent enough writer, but artistically I'm fucking shit. So, like, Chris 3D printed me this really awesome Sulaco model, and I've got to find somebody to paint that for me now, just to do a good job on it.
Mike, is this what you were thinking, or what?
Caustic Viper says Zeno looks like he's storming out of the theatre and about to demand a refund.
All right, well, tell me what to do.
Schwip says, Aaron, how do you find these scripts? Like, how do you vet if they are legit? They were purchased from the prop store, so they do that work. But then they crew scripts, so watermarked with all the crew names. That's what took me a while to do. So I'd originally scanned the pages in, but they still had all the crew watermarks on them, and I was like, should probably redo this. I think Mike has joined you in the chat to give you a fucking telling off. Yeah, he has.
Oh, like on our voice comms?
Yeah, Mike's just joined.
Hey, Mike. Oh, I can't hear you if you're here.
And Project says, I would be happy to help paint you something, Aaron, if you end up getting a kit. I'm based... Oh, we're both UK buddies.
I haven't said anything yet.
Oh, there we go.
Mike, tell him what you want.
Yeah, I'm just popping in to say what I want. Go turn your... Don't turn, but shift to the left a little bit.
Screen left or our left?
Like, I can strafe left or I can look left?
Strafe left.
Okay. Problem is I got this guy in the seat here.
Can you get on the other side of the guy?
Yeah, but he's already kind of past the circle if I do.
Oh, well, yeah, because you moved him. Yeah, I was thinking, like, right in there.
Well, I could let him keep walking. Like, if I let the alien keep walking. Let's see.
Pivot.
So, if I let him keep walking... So, you want him, like... So, his head is right in the middle of the circle, right?
No, I want it to be almost like the head is following the curve of the outer circle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so his head will be a little off center of the main circle. So kind of something like that.
Okay, let me redo the focus here.
M Projects or Xander, is there a Facebook page or a friend I can add?
Like that?
I mean, I would say he's inside the circle still. So
you want him outside the circle a bit more, like that?
No. I would say that you need. Sorry, I'm still like my coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Go strafe right, not the other way. Yeah. A little bit more. So like the outer circle is going to just be like, yeah, something like that. Too bad you can't have the whole thing. Too far.
Okay.
You go too far.
Like that?
No, too far. You go back. No, you're going too far. Go back to your strafe right. I wish I had a mouse so I could just circle what I'm trying to say. This is so unimportant too. You're going the wrong way. Other way. Sorry, left. Sorry, left. Yeah, you need to strafe left.
This way.
My God, I can't talk
Okay.
today.
Like that?
No, I would say even go further. Further left. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. A little bit more, keep going. Right there.
Okay.
Too far. Too far.
Too
Too
far.
far.
A little
Too
bit
far.
back. Okay.
I feel like I'm hearing you guys stumble through explaining how to
You're
pleasure
going
each
way
other
too
here.
far. So the big outer circle, I want it to almost be touching the top of his dome.
Oh, okay.
I've got the tab minimized at this point. I'm just hearing you pair.
Like that. All right.
Touch the dome. Touch the dome.
Right there, a little bit right there, right there. Too
Okay.
far, too close now, but like it kind of just follows the shape of his dome.
So
That's all I was trying to say.
back up a bit. Okay.
But then still give it a little bit of room to breathe on the circle.
Oh, you're Marcus. I know that name.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all. All right, I'm leaving. Bye.
We're already fucking friends. That's why I know that name. Fucking backseat art director.
I know. Can you believe that shit?
Just fucking comes in here uninvited. Starts giving you directions and instruct. Fucking hell. Get back to Hollywood, goddammit. Shit, I hope he isn't still listening.
No, but
That's the
honestly,
entire-
Mike is my best photographer buddy, and honestly, when I was still like in school, like just shooting some toy photography with him and getting some insight was a super awesome experience.
Caustic Vapor says this feels like the game where one friend is blindfolded and being guided by
Oh, why is my
Alright.
depth of field strength being weird here? Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Crawling Chaos says
Odd.
what's the saying? The blind lead in the blind. I believe in you. You can do it.
Put my settings back to normal here.
Have you fucked it? Have you fucked it?
Well, I think I got what I needed at that part. We'll try some of this stuff. Hello, Stompy.
You need to check the Twitter account when you're done, by the way.
Oh, why?
This is one I've never seen before. It got shared in... we got tagged in it. It's some Japanese thing from the Alien 3 era. You need to have a look at it. I retweeted it.
Oh, he knocked the trash can over. Come on, Stompy. What are you doing?
Mike says, is it the Xeno in the classroom? Yes, it is the Xeno in the classroom. I've never seen that before today.
Ah! I guess I missed it.
Mike says he sent you that yesterday. Caustic Viper says Stompy, Big Chap, Scorch, Mozart, Best. Xenos get their nicknames.
Who was
Trip
Mozart?
says- It would have been the one from Music of the Space.
Oh.
I'm doing a reread of that book, actually. The art's not quite top notch in my opinion of the comic, but I still liked it. I'm sure Greg told me he was trying to do the Symphony of Hate, or it was a goal. Greg, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure you said you wanted to do that, didn't you? Because I would love somebody to give that a go. I'd be very curious as to what it would sound like. Mitch said I hadn't thought about that commercial for 30 years until you sent it me. Yeah, I sent it Mitch. I thought it was a new thing. I didn't realise it was an Alien 3 thing. Greg says I did say that. How are you doing on that project? How actually far in did you ever get with it? I don't think I ever asked you that.
For which one?
Greg told me he was on about doing a the Symphony of Hate. That's the composition that the chap in Music of the Spears was wanting to make.
I don't think I'm going to be high on the leaderboards on that one.
You cheated. At one point, I was on the leaderboard for the first one.
Oh yeah, the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some interesting locations of the station in this one.
How are these 0 seconds?
Because they probably did cheat, honestly.
What a load of bullshit.
But yeah, this last one where you play as Ricardo.
I need to go through and play some of these.
Yeah, that would be a good one to do for the anniversary. Just play through all these.
Well, yeah, I think that's what we should probably do for the streams. Or probably, start of middle of September, the middle of October, if we take turns playing them.
Yeah, this is an interesting part where it's all like padded walls here, like unfinished construction.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I don't think I've played this one.
So this is where, even though there's no cutscenes, so you wouldn't really know it, I guess. You play as Ricardo, who's one of the marshals, and you're planning.
Is it placing the stuff in San Cristobal?
You're planning the explosives, and a cool set piece of this bit is you can see the Taurens right outside the window here, right as she's arriving. So it's like you place the explosives here as they are doing the spacewalk.
That's cool. Sarah, I am off tomorrow. I do not have to work bank holidays. I was planning on trying to start writing my written review for Romulus tomorrow and also playing some Isolation. Gustic Viper says, I do hope we get more of those anniversary fan short films down the line. They were awesome. Yeah, I really hope they revisit that for Aliens' 4th anniversary, but I don't think we will. Which is a shame because the Tongle stuff was largely brilliant. Which is Night Shift I really didn't enjoy. Although I haven't watched that for some time. I revisited them all recently. Say recently, time blurs together for me at the minute.
It's a quick one.
This is Verlaine on the Torrens. What the hell just happened?
But you didn't do the other bits.
That's true.
Did any of our
At least you had some extra dialogue from Verlaine there.
Well, no, I don't hear it. Guess I mute the stream, otherwise I hear us talking to each other. Still collating says, well, let's say with my obsession for the RPG, I've been focusing on that, so not really progressed much there. It won't be done anytime soon. I think I got 2 concept pieces and that's it. Until time and inspiration come calling again. Well, I know how much that a pain that can be. Hopefully you get those, buddy. Schwip says AVP Galaxy can host its own shorts contest with none of the budget. Sounds good to me. Send us your pictures and we'll tell you which ones sound good.
It's very Art Deco right there. Eye on Seegson.
M Project says I so badly want to see Big Chat wreaking havoc on Renaissance. I can't help but think the Big Chap recovery story is perfect DLC for Isolation. I'm fairly certain that that's what we'll get with the comic, and I'm very looking forward to it. I'll be honest. I'm really looking forward to that. Mitch says, but you guys have to act in them all. We can do that. Adam was a professional actor as a baby. I've acted in a fan. I've done some voice acting in a fan film.
I've done a little acting recently in the horror movie group I'm with, but yeah.
Oh yeah, have you actually been in front of the
use-
cameras?
Yeah, I could use a little refresher. So.
How old
some
were you?
acting lessons. I did acting, like I did stage acting as a kid, and then I did some like TV stuff in like right before I was a teenager. And then I did like drama club in high school. I did like Shakespeare stuff. So
I thought you did some commercials as well as a kid.
I did, yeah.
Weren't you like a baby though?
I mean, I was like 10 or whatever.
Oh,
I
okay,
guess.
No, I thought you were much younger. Schwip says my script.
You go ahead.
Schwip says my script is going to be solely lines from Alien films, no original dialogue. I can tell you right now, Schwip, we're not going to approve that script for filming with our zero budget. Tax incentives. Anyway, you're going to read my key.
Yeah, Mike's Monsters said no additional scenes were filmed with Big Chap and Romulus like some folks have been hoping for. Yeah, I know you were trying to tamper people's expectations with that, Mike. And I remember looking when Rook says, oh, it wreaked havoc on the station, and you see some...
the
screens. I was like, can we just see it for a second on one of the screens? But...
M Project says, I was happy with how little we got of Big Chap in the film, to be honest. Did you officially work on the marketing bits then? I can't remember what the actual situation was there.
I don't think he can say.
Well, he said he helped with the marketing.
Oh. Well, I thought you were asking for more details with that.
No, I just meant as to his official status there.
Gotta restore power.
Didn't you say they ignored most of you? You know, that sounds about right. That does. That sounds like my fucking day job. That does. You know how my life my work professional life sucks. I keep coming back to the phrase I told you about this beforehand, or I told them about this beforehand, and I was. Caleb says they took it under advisement. They denied your petition. Max says, yeah, I helped a little bit with one of the marketing teams who didn't have the most extensive knowledge of the franchise. They asked me to help gather footage for TikToks and social media posts. Well, as in pick scenes from the film to use for little viral. Well, I think viral's the overused term. To use for like the promotional shorts and stuff. Ah, okay. Mike says, I'm under the impression that most of it will be used for Alien Day next year. It wasn't just Romulus stuff.
Ooh.
That's cool.
I don't remember that. That is cool.
Be nice if we actually have an extensive Alien Day. We haven't really had a good one with Disney, have we?
I was honestly shocked that there was any teaser for the show with the movie. Even a very short one.
With the very dodgy looking CGA.
I mean, we can't really see much of it, so I wasn't like upset about that or anything like I know some have been.
It's a shame it wasn't a suit or something.
I mean, it will be interesting to see Weta, because I know they did the face huggers for Romulus, so it'll be interesting to see them do the regular Xenos for the series. Oh, that's kind of cool.
And Project says, when is the Romulus Reebok supposed to drop? I saw the teaser. I believe it's the end of the month. I think it's like the 31st. Let me have a quick look.
Oh, no, I did not want to do that.
27th. So when's that? That's Tuesday. What a random day. Mikey also says the studio helped with close down though, so I don't know how much it might help. For next year's Alien Day will come to light. Hollywood is brutal lately. Yeah, that's unfortunate. This just seems to be a lot of fucking things closing down at the minute. And it already, I say already, like it's not most of the way through the year, but hasn't this year been pretty shit for video game companies as well?
With layoffs, yeah, there's been a whole bunch of them.
And Axis Entertainment closed down. They were the ones that did the cutscenes for this game and some of the promotional, pre-rendered promotional stuff for Cloning Marines and this. Which is, I hate that. It just devastates me. Mikey says multiple industries are fucked lately. Yup. Can't we just all win the lottery and live in a utopia where we exist for our passions?
That would be nice.
Fucking communist, aren't I? The Lone Fox has joined us.
Oh, welcome.
Although I think we'll be closing up soon, won't we, anyway?
Yeah. But I can go for a little bit longer.
Gotta get those photos in.
That's right. Yeah, I'm doing some of these for our social media banners for the 10th anniversary of Isolation.
Mike's Monster says could really use a lottery win at the moment while being highly unemployed. Oh, sorry to hear that, buddy. Could always sell some feet pictures. I hear that's highly successful these days. I always said if I had the body for OnlyFans, I'd be on there. I'm not sure how much chubby fat blokes really succeed on that platform. Xenomania says Hicks is spitting UPP propaganda. Damn right, for the people. Although I think that's another fucking what's that from? For the people.
It's kind of cool with the yellow bars there.
Oh, it's from that fucking book series that I read. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. The Lost Fleet. That's what it's from. It's what the syndicates say for the people.
Mike's Monster says my ugly ass hobbit feet are not wanted. I'd be all over the OnlyFans if I had the sexy. Yeah, it seems like that's definitely a platform that has probably more female creators than male creators. Let's just put it that way.
Although didn't one of the wasn't like the showrunner for X-Men 97 on OnlyFans and Disney fired him for it?
That's lame. I mean, I've seen that before where like teachers will get fired because like it's just something even stupid, like they took a picture in a bikini or something, and I'm like, are people not allowed to have like lives outside of what they do? Like, come on.
Oh, Caleb says, they didn't just fire him for that.
Okay, was there other stuff? Okay.
It's funny, I was talking to my missus about it the other day, I was like, who the fuck pays for porn anymore? And then I was like, oh, I suppose it's just the Patreon of porn, really, isn't it? Because you get to have that closer relationship with the content creators. Oh, there you are. They didn't fire him for that. They fired him for sending naughty pics to his co-workers as references on how to draw the characters. Jesus fuck Christ. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. You know when you hear about things that people do sometimes, and you're just like, what the absolute fuck?
Yeah. Especially people that have like really professional like positions that we would like kill for, you know? And it's like
Yeah.
you just fuck it all up over that. Okay.
So you know how I always critiqued Echo over how horny the character was?
Well, she was a teenager, dude. I mean, it made sense in the context of the story, I think, as a teenager who's like picked on growing up in a colony. Like, I mean, yeah, it was a bit obnoxious, and I'm like, maybe this is just young adult novels or whatever. But I mean,
I don't remember young adult novels being that horny.
But yeah, sorry, you were gonna say something.
I don't even remember.
You were just
Oh,
saying.
no. I guess it was maybe it's not that unrealistic that people would be that stupid.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
Caleb says he apparently broke an NDA deal he had with Disney not to talk about it, carried on talking about it, and Disney was like, fine, we'll let people know what you were really fired for then.
Oh, damn.
Schwip says, I mean, Echo got nothing on Twilight. I have never watched or read Twilight, so I'm not to comment. Although I do remember Harry Potter 6 and being like, God damn, every other page is them fucking smooching somewhere.
But yes, Mr. Caleb is usually the one who helps me in Predator Hunting Grounds and models for me as the Predator. And Mike has helped me with that as well. So that's one I want to start.
For it,
Yeah, I've tried to get you to do it a few times, and you're like, I'm bored.
Adam, this is boring.
I'm doing art here, okay, guys?
Where's my fucking money? Why aren't you paying your models? My time is part of your art as well. Come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. We are fucking stupid sometimes. You know this, don't you?
Yes.
Caleb says Ridgetop films him like his French Predators. Schwitz says only Preds.
Yeah. Can you believe we got this game a year after Colonial Marines, man?
It's a fucking miracle we did.
Yeah.
It's like a Prey situation all over again. Where I just think the fucking franchise is doomed, and then something. Isolation is just genuinely. I want to call it flawless now. Because the issues I had with it at the time were some minor technical problems.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember what I think it might have been some texture related bullshit or something like that. I can't remember. But it's one of the pinnacles of the Alien franchise, in my opinion.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, definitely.
Along with Cold Forge, along with Inter Charybdis, along with Phalanx, they're just sheer moments of perfection. Sarah says, finally got around to reading the last issue of What If. I really enjoyed that series. Yeah, I have to get over the setup of it. But if you take Aliens What If in the spirit of what the fuck it is, I think it's highly entertaining. It's immensely stupid. It's very comedic and funny, and it's meant to be. And if you take it in that spirit, I found it to be genuinely entertaining. Project says, I still remember painfully buying Isolation first before I even got my PlayStation 4 and having to wait until I got one a couple of weeks later. Avoided spoilers like the plague. That's fucking impossible.
The game ran pretty well on PS4.
It was PS3 and Xbox 360 that it did not run well on.
Well, I thought it even ran well on that because I know Digital Foundry did a comparison between all of them, and they did say the Switch version is better than it has any right to be, and that runs great.
I love the Switch version.
Okay, enough already. Focus on what we're here for.
I really
don't
wish
want
I'd
any
have gone out
mistakes.
and brought one of those fucking fancy pants elite controllers that they were selling for them. Just because I enjoyed the fucking haptics. The wrong word, isn't it? What's the force feedback shit called?
There you are. Monster Meeks, keep your eyes open.
I think it is called haptics, right? Well, I don't know if the Switch has haptics. It just has rumble, right?
Maybe that's the word then, but like the rumble. Because I remember some bits. I think if you play it in handheld mode, I think you get some rumble, and it was fantastic. It made me want to go buy one of the fancy pants controllers to rumble.
This is, Lone Fox is saying, do you mean gyro aiming?
No, I don't mean the gyro stuff. There was some force feedback involved. I can't quite remember. It's been a couple of years now,
But I'm telling you, Aaron, you need to get a new phone just to cover events and stuff. I mean,
my missus keeps telling me to. Guys, I own a Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. I've had this for.
That's good. If it's a mystery, then it's unknown. If it's unknown,
God, let me check
then
my
it could be
CV
valuable.
because this is how I know how long I've had it for.
too long.
Based on
Could
when I got a job, because I was brought this phone by work in lieu of back payment for a promotion that I got, and it is the best phone I've ever fucking had. So when did I become the supervisor? 2017. So I've had this phone for 7 years, and I fucking love it. Whereas I remember having the HTCs, and they would last 2 years and die.
HTC, yeah, that was never a great phone brand.
I'll have a look.
I
around.
used to really
See if I
like
can find
the
a weak spot.
HTCs, but
Wait
they did
here.
only last the 2 years. You know, a lot of phones are designed to self-destruct at that point.
The newer Samsungs have such good cameras, and you can play isolation on it too. So
True.
Gonna need a lift.
Most phones cost like $1,000 now. Though, like the flagship phones.
yeah, but they'll have like payment plans where you just put it on your monthly phone payment.
I don't. This is something my missus struggles to understand that I don't like. I don't like payment plans. I don't like that.
Then you wait some more.
So like the reason, once I brought a phone out, once I was brought this phone out, right, I was like, right, well, I'm sorted. I'm not going back to a fucking contract ever again. Fucking capitalism, man. I hate having to work for a living and not being able to afford to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
So I had to. I know we're past time here, but I don't mind going a little bit longer if you don't. I love this part of the game, and this is a part I recently took some screenshots of. I remember when I first played the game, and this happened. I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! We get to go inside the Derelict?" Because I didn't know.
Yeah, I remember it being. Grip says, Hicks for president.
Stay
Nah, I don't want that kind of responsibility. My new job role comes with no responsibility, Adam. Except everybody still keeps looking at me like I still have the same responsibility.
And you're like,
and
nope.
access. Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not my problem anymore. And they go, what do you mean that's not your problem anymore? Mike says Hicks for president of Alien and Predator. I mean, that makes sense. As long as you get paid.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we can continue to accept credits and references and characters named after us in lieu of payment.
Let's get going. Follow me.
Give me money!
Heist, over here. Give me a leg up.
Lone Fox says, by the looks of it, a good amount of the Anisadora is visible when you no-clip.
Yeah, I mean, it's very... I don't think it's very textured because it's so shrouded in shadow. Because I've tried going in the free cam and looking at the whole ship before. And you can only get so far, honestly. The Derelict.
Schwip says Disney needs an official
Try and
Alien and
freaking
Predator
miss.
consultant. I hear they give you an iPhone when you sign on.
Ooh, I gotta
Disney
do it on
already
mobile.
has an official Alien consultant.
Screen. There we go. We can see the Derelict. Wonder how close I can get before it clips through. Because this one's just meant as a set piece. And it switches to a whole different map once the cutscene here ends. I think this is about as far as I can go. Yeah, you can see the Anisadora back there even. You can see the whole path.
Go on, show it again. I'm seeing lights. I'm seeing lights.
You're just delayed.
God, I love the Derelict.
Credits won't pay my phone bills, Titan. Yep. We did do a lot of work on those books. I did have the thought. I was like, where's my money at this point? But I would love to do it again. And I might
Yeah, I mean,
grumble if
end of the day, we'll fucking do it again for free,
Yeah,
won't we? But,
exactly.
It's like I say to you with the whole fucking buying all your fucking variant covers. We're part of the problem, Adam. Lone Fox says the YouTube channel which does the Out of Bound Secrets recently did Isolation. He got right on top of the Derelict. I think he had a different mod.
I will have to look into that one.
Caustic Viper says the exploring the Derelict was my favourite part of this game. The Derelict just doesn't seem to be indulged on more since Aliens. Well, you had a whole prequel film.
Oh, come on. That was the Juggernaut. That was not the Derelict.
My obsession with the space jockeys and the Derelict was the reason I'm even into the expanded universe. That's what sent me down that rabbit hole. When I found out about like the moments from book one specifically, sorry, more than book two, and Apocalypse destroying angels. They're why I am the fan I am today. That query, that drive to find out about those comics. I still fucking love Destroying Angels. It's still one of my favourite pieces of the Alien EU. And it's why people being angry about Prometheus for giving us answers that, in quotation marks, we didn't ask for, makes me sort of be like, no. I did ask for these, and I'm sure many of you out there did ask for them. I think you just don't like the answers we got, which is certainly how I felt. And I didn't really hate the film. I was just frustrated by it. Lone Fox says maybe if that alien cult sees the light of day, maybe they'll ask you for help. I wish I could have helped on Colony War.
So here's a question. I think Xenomurph asked me today. Do you feel like the egg silo is in the ship or beneath it?
Oh yeah, he messaged me as well today. Actually, the same question. I don't mind either interpretation. It's never really been something I've put a lot of thought into because I don't think you really get much of the dimensions of the interior that well. It's who's the artist that does that crazy fucking perspective work? Is it Escher? It's not quite like that, but that's how I imagine the interior to be. So it could be either or, and I don't mind either answer.
Yeah, Caleb says in it, cargo hold. I've always had that interpretation myself. That the underbelly of the ship is just kind of, it's been smashed into the planet, so it goes down a bit further.
M Project says I'm the same, Aaron, in regards to the space jockey and the derelict. Chevy points out that Colonial Marines did a lot with the derelict.
That's true.
I don't mind the interpretation that we got in Colonial Marines, you know, with all the exploration kit and all the like plastic sheets and shit put up. I hate that fucking lazy ass hologram fucking spaceship fight. I think that's pathetic. But things like the pups scanning around, like, I enjoy that. Schwip says they should have you guys do rewrites of the Isolation novelization with the 100th anniversary. That was such a wet blanket of a book.
I still haven't read it just because of what you said, and I was excited for it too. I was like
the original stuff with Amanda is interesting, but I think you can. You know how I tell you I struggle to do lore videos because I get bored summarizing things. It feels like that's what fucking Keith Candido got. He was bored writing the events of the game because he was sat there watching people play it and cutscene videos and stuff like that rather than fucking playing the game himself. Crawling Chaos says, any scoops on the Alien Earth show? I have no idea what to expect. Oh, we could give you a good fucking rundown of the first half of that show. We shan't, but we could. Sarah says, oh yeah, I wanted answers and didn't like the ones we got. Circling back round to it being Earth related just makes me bash my head on the desk. Yeah. But fan theories explain shit away, and you know, at least the RPG's leaning into it a little bit about that.
Oh.
Lone Fox says, rewatching Alien again, the derelict seems absolutely massive. It seems like the room may fit inside. Schwip says, weren't there some holes in the ship that lead to the egg, or was that the original screenplay? Yeah, it was an acid burnt hole straight down that led to the egg chamber, which in some regards kind of makes you think perhaps it's not part of the ship. Maybe it's like a cavern under the ship that the aliens hived up. But then you have things like the columns that are very... Well, obviously because it's the same set as the space jockey set itself. Make it seem like part of the ship.
So how many times have you seen Romulus now, Aaron?
4. I was talking to Chris about going a 5th
Nice.
time.
Yeah, my girlfriend's parents are coming into town today, so we're probably going to see it Monday, I think, tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Sarah says, tell us how you really feel, Hicks. Don't hold back on our accounts.
I don't want
I'm
anything
always
bad.
honest with you all.
Amazing. How old must this be?
What is it? A cockpit?
And make this a ship.
I think we found our payload.
Kaylin says, and Ridley even said as much in the first commentary. I assume that's talking about...
Can it? We're wasting
Oh
time.
yeah, no, Crawling
Have a look
Chaos.
around.
Crawling Chaos mentioned the whole bomber bioweapon thing,
It was a life
which is what
form. Now it's
Ridley
our
was
property.
talking about in the
Salvage
commentary.
rights.
We need to stake our claim before anyone else does.
I did like how we got a jockey chamber in
Then
Fireteam
we'll take what we
Elite,
can and come back.
and this one feels
Have a look
very
around,
faithful
see what
to
else
the
is here.
original Alien, and that one is straight out of Prometheus.
Tracks?
Looks like something was dragged.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed.
You're not gonna
I mean, I've said this since
What is it?
we first got our hands on that game. You know, I like what Fireteam Elite did with its engineers, did with its
I can
environments.
see that. Shit.
You know, it feels like a much better engineer environment than the films do, because the films are have always been a little
I'll find the
too
beacon and shut it off. Don't want anybody else finding this
stony,
place. Foster, Heist,
metallic-y,
check out
not
the
quite
carbon below.
biomechanical. and Fireteam Elite does a better job of melding the design language back in with the biomechanical, but still maintaining a little bit of that constructed look from Prometheus.
But this looks perfect, like how they did it in this game. It looks just like the first film.
It's fucking bang on. Although the beacon is a little lazy, let's be honest.
Yeah,
when you get to
we'll
it.
see it here in a second.
Because it is just the top end of the telescope, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think they made it using only parts from...
Yeah.
Meeks?
And it does feel a little lackluster in that regard.
I do like these little lights here, though, because it gives it a bit of tech. But no, I was gonna say it gives it a bit of tech, but it doesn't feel very Prometheus-y.
It does look good. Well, no, I think they look like the eggs, the little squishy egg things that David plays with.
No, those were yellow.
Yeah, but texturally. Mitch says Space Doc did a great video on Fireteam Elite bridging the franchise. I need to have a look at that. I don't watch enough of their videos, I'll be honest.
Space Doc?
Yeah, they do a bunch of videos on like various sci-fi technologies. I know them for doing like a lot of Star Trek ship things, but I think they've also done like a pretty decent one on the pulse rifle. End Project says, as for the egg chamber, that amazing wide shot of Kane approaching the eggs, what the hell is this map painting background curves like the ship? So it's part of the ship. I love that fucking map painting. I always have. When I was a kid, I used to like trying to look for details in the background of it.
Bigfoot LV426, welcome to the stream. Going good.
Join just for the end of it.
Oh.
Lone Fox says Space Doc also have that video with Mark Ralston talking about marine equipment in the character of Drake. I can't remember if I've seen that or not. Mike says it's like the goddamn tropics in here. Not quite. We're not there yet. We're getting there though, aren't we? Look at that. That's fucking beautiful. Lone Fox says, should we talk about the blue laser? Well, it's obviously a biological function of the alien now.
Really?
Which was... Well, it's got to be.
I always figured it was some sort of... They were trying to contain the hive or something. Because, like, that sure looks like it's coming out of the walls in the ship.
It was always a question from the film. Was it a function of the space jockeys, or was it a function of the aliens? And with Romulus in context now, it's got to be a biological function of the aliens.
It makes like a technical sound, though. That makes like no sense.
I'm not a fucking biologist. Lone Fox says, Mike, do you know any secrets about the blue laser? It is one of the questions I have for Fede.
And there's no eggs in that movie either.
It doesn't mean the eggs make them. There was obviously...
There was no hive in the derelict ship.
See, that's always been another thing as well. Don't you think the hive is very... I mean, the derelict itself looks a lot like the hive anyway. Like the rib nature of it.
I mean, yeah, but it's not.
So that's something I always thought, I always wondered as a kid as well. Was it before like Prometheus and everything? Was like, is this ship actually just completely hived up?
Yeah. Well, no, I never thought that, but I always thought like, well, the aliens look biomechanical and the ship looks biomechanical. Although these are obviously two different species. I always had the thought, even before Prometheus, maybe the jockeys created the aliens.
Well, I mean, that's the implication.
Until we found out David did.
No, remember, David's only recreating the, I know that Covenant is telling us that David created... Look, I mean, there's still wiggle room. You know, I did a whole fucking video on this a year back. You know, Covenant tells us David created the aliens in that film. There is still wiggle room that he is not responsible for the creation of the aliens overall. I forget where I was going with that. Oh, so yeah, so there's still a chance that the whole wiggle room that Alan Dean Foster puts in, that him recreating. Sorry, Predman, he created the aliens as intended in that film, but Mike, as well, I also talked about the false narrator bit. The film challenges David when he's incorrect. It does not challenge him about his authorship of the aliens. So as far as the film's concerned, the false narrator bit does not really apply there. But it is wiggle room that creatives could take further down the line. And this is another reason why I do not want... I don't want Ridley back, because I don't want him to solidify the path that he was going down with David being the creator of the aliens overall. As it stands, we still have that not being the case. So I've always preferred Alan Dean Foster's interpretation, that he's just copying or perfecting, in quotation marks, in his own way, the work of the engineers. And that's why I kind of accept the black goo now, because the black goo is another aspect.
So you had a problem with it at some point?
The black goo used to piss me off, because the black goo, you know, but they didn't define the rules, did they? And that's what annoyed me about Prometheus. The black goo did a bunch of different things, and like the whole thing that led to the creation of the Deacon is so convoluted a path to get to, that it always sort of pissed me off that there was a mural of the Deacon, and that's what it's a mural of. It is not the alien, it's the Deacon. As much as people like to say otherwise. And the AVPs are a different continuity as far as the prequel's concerned. We know this, and any claim otherwise is just you trolling, Caleb, and we know that. But I accept the idea now. It's like I was saying, not alluding to, I straight up said it. Said earlier, you know, once you get used to a concept, you don't dislike it as much, because you are used to it and you accept it for what it is. And like the black goo, I kind of accept as this chaotic agent that has something to do with the aliens, and obviously Romulus gives us a direct thing there, that Rook was able to develop some form of it from the DNA of the aliens. So the black goo is part of that Lovecraftian background of the franchise now, and I accept and like that.
Okay, let's go see this egg chamber. And then we'll end the stream.
Here, strap yourself in.
It is where it is where the black goo is a little bit annoying, because yes, it can just be an easy out. It just does shit, and that was one of the things I used to find a bit more frustrating about Prometheus. It seemed to have a little bit more of a straightforward rules in the later EU, and in Covenant it makes alien-like stuff, which is kind of fine. Yeah, Kayla makes a good point there, which was always one of the fan theories. Or you could take it that the black goo is alien DNA to begin with, hence why we get things like the trilobite and the Deacon, because there's always that hint of alien in it, which is fine. Which is absolutely fine by me. That's a fan theory that has been around for a while, and I can dig.
The question is, though, if David is creating the aliens, then why are they in this jockey ship?
Because David is a space jockey, according to Scott, and we all know it. I genuinely think he would think that is a brilliant fucking idea that none of us would ever expect. I genuinely think that.
And she's Stompy's mother. Patient Zero.
Mike says, I took Alien Romulus's inclusion of the black goo as it being the alien DNA. Yeah, that seems to be the thing you get in there. And Crawling Chaos says, Lovecraft's Shoggoth was also a kind of primordial life thing. Forget the exact description. Yeah. It fits the Lovecraftian themes.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
M Project says, Adam, are you able to get a good look at the walls in the egg chamber?
Yes. Give me a moment. After I get the shot I want here, and I will check them out.
Excuse me, what, Sarah? I'm not parsing that comment. Breadman says egg morphing is thing, or I like egg morphing, I always have. I don't think you're so keen on it, are you?
No, I like the molting. And that's just from how much I loved AVP2, honestly.
Egg morphing's not got anything to do with the queen.
I know, but why? It's like with molting, it's like why would they have? Yeah.
I like it because I find it very body horror, and I dig that. Very horrifying. And like Caleb says there as well, I like the idea of egg morphing as a way for a lone alien to make more. One of my fan theories from the olden days was that, an egg morphed egg would make a queen bearing egg. M Project says egg morphing just makes sense for me. Caustic Viper says, according to the Enemy of My Enemy novel, it still is indeed a thing. I don't remember an Enemy of My Enemy, I'll be honest. I only read that the once there when I thought that was such a middling book. I think egg morphing was also in Prototype, and I liked that.
Okay, so we're looking at the walls someone wanted to see. Let's see.
Schwip says, I kind of like the idea that the accelerant is just so random that it never truly produces the same result twice, which is why aliens always look different between movies. But doesn't... I know Lucy goes on about this, but I can't remember where it's from. Was it from the David shorts where he compares the black goo to AI? Yeah, I think that was the David shorts. And
no, doesn't he? Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it was the shorts in Covenant, the marketing stuff.
And in that regard, we get some absolute random bullshit every time from AI generation, don't we? So maybe that's not a bad shout.
I wonder if I can go back up the...
God, I've really blocked out so much of Enemy of My Enemy. Caustic Viper says, in Enemy of My Enemy, the Biodrones clone... Biodrone Xenos clones couldn't make a queen to breed, so I really don't fucking... I got so fed up with that, but the RPG trilogy was just such trash. Apart from Infernos.
I don't think I'm supposed to be able to go back up here, because it's just a white box. That's funny.
Greg is affirming and Lone Fox is affirming my memory. Prototype had egg morphing.
But yeah, it definitely is a large chamber of the ship, so I can see why people would think maybe it was some underground thing, because it's just so big compared to the ship what you see outside. Bigger on the inside.
Artists. Still collating says, I hate the randomness of Black Goo. In my opinion, randomness is not interesting. It takes me out of the story. And that's fair. It's because we like cohesion. We like consistency. Or most people do. Heshwip says, enemy of my enemy was the enemy of my memory. We're going to have to read that at some point, though, because we're going to have to... Well, you're going to have to read it at some point. I'm going to have to reread it.
Oh, you finished it.
Oh, I read Enemy of My Enemy like a year ago.
You thought it was just like... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Uncivil War. You haven't read that yet.
I haven't started that yet. It's because I'm reading the Alien Isolation unofficial guide at the minute.
Oh, how's that one?
I'm enjoying it. It does exactly what it says on the tin. You know, it's he wrote it with the intent of it being like those old companion guides to TV shows back in the 2000s, if you remember those. I had a few of the I had a few of the Stargate ones, and it's very much hitting that premise. So I'm digging it.
That's good.
It's a nice little side piece to the game. I've got about 20-30 pages left to go.
Well, okay, folks, we've gone an hour over, so I think we're good to end the stream, but we had a good amount of people here today, so thank you so much for joining us. I was honestly not thinking too many would stick around with me just taking screenshots and stuff, so glad to see people found this interesting.
Indeed.
We will be back next week. Not sure what we're going to do yet, and we have a community event that we will post about shortly.
It was supposed to be yesterday.
Oh, was it? Okay, well, we will schedule
that. Somebody did not make me the picture, so it didn't get announced or scheduled.
Okay, well, we will get that scheduled, and that will be coming up soon. I know a lot of excitement has been on Alien, but we have some more AVP stuff coming. Aaron's currently working on another draft of the script that we'll be releasing, and I am working on an AVP piece that I am very excited about with some never before publicly seen stuff. Will probably be one of the biggest editorials I've ever done for the site, so very stoked about that. Been working on it for a bit, and hopefully that will be out in September time.
Mm-hmm. I have quite a few interviews lined up regarding Romulus, which is going to keep us busy for a bit. I'm also working on an interview with... we recorded it. It's at its first pass edit. I'm working on the second and final pass edit of an interview with the writers of Alien Utopia. Greg did that. He's in the chat with us. Still Collating did that one with me. So that's out. We're waiting on the review back from the first pass editor of our Romulus review. So we'll be getting that sorted soon as well. Adam recently uploaded a video of the Q&As that he took part in at San Diego Comic Con with the Servios developers, which is on the YouTube channel. You can go check that out after watching this if you guys want some more Alien goodness. And I think that's about it.
Thank you, Caustic Viper. I appreciate that. Yes, I will be posting a lot of these just on social media, and some of them will be our banners for the anniversary coming up.
M projects I am indeed. That is one of the interviews coming up.
Well, all right, folks. Thank you again for joining us, and until next time.
Bye.
Well, I at least gotta let you see the facehugger part here.
Okay, that's fair. You know, for the longest time, this was the moment from Alien that I still had to look away from, even into my 20s. Not anymore.
All right, folks. Y'all take it easy.